Sabrina, welcome to Big Conversations by Ordinary People podcast. Thank you for honoring this and sparing some time to do this with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Nature of the podcast, I let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
From your introduction, though, is how I drive the conversation, basically. Yes.
Okay, because I'm a bit nervous. I don't know where we're going with this. Anyway, do I look at you? Do I look at the camera? Okay.
And have a conversation.
So, my name is Sabrina Agasha. I'm a journalist by profession. I actually studied mass communication, so I have a degree. I'm also a content creator, and my focus right now is YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. Go check it out, Sabrina Agasha. And yeah.
You publish your podcast, It's Never That Serious, on Sabrina Agasha, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So mileage and It's Never That Serious on Sabrina Agasha. So go check that out. Yeah, so I'm a podcaster and just a lover of life, I guess. I could say that. Yeah.
What does that mean? Lover of life.
That like life is loved by me. Like, what do you mean? I don't know how else to.
What's your definition of living?
Living is freedom to do what you want and express yourself how you want without being held back by certain things. I have to put a caveat there though, without harming people. Like don't harm people, don't do things that are going to cause, you know, other people pain or frustration or whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, I think living is freedom. Yeah. And freedom from everything, like freedom from people's opinions of you, freedom from bosses breathing down your neck, freedom from like societal pressures. Yeah, that's my opinion of living.
So what inspires your love and for media? How do you get involved? Where do you start?
That's actually a really interesting story. When I was younger, I was really good with IT.
You liked computers?
You see, this is the thing. I liked techie things, but I was not good at it, right? Like, I thought that, because like in the household, when something would be broken or when like the Wi-Fi was not connecting, they'd call me and I'd usually just wiggle things around and fix it. So me, I thought that I would be good at IT. I was not good at IT. I dropped out after 2 years and then I decided to pursue mass communication. Now, I can't say that I started out loving it. I wanted to do it. Like I would watch TV and I would want to be a part of what was going on TV. But I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the experience. Like I didn't even know where to start, but I said I'm going to pursue it. And if I pursue it, I have to stick with it. So I stuck with it and here we are. So I wouldn't say it started out as love. It started out as, yeah, that looks cool. Let me do it.
So one thing you mentioned is you had Wi-Fi when you were young. So definitely you are a rich kid.
So you see, I misspoke when I said Wi-Fi. I meant to say like DSTV, like a decoder would be whatever. Okay. No, but like who had Wi-Fi when we were young?
Like I was thinking about it, like what?
No, but like who had Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is a thing of like 2015 True. Below. I'm joking, but no, seriously. No, I meant like the DSTV thing. I'm trying to think like what else, like the TV. Remember how they used to have like yellow, red, and white? Have I? This is an age test. If you've not understood the reference, you're too young and it's kawa.
Now, do you ever feel responsible for your audience? I realized you drop a podcast today. In about 4 days, it hits about 1.6k views. And that's really relatively good. That's quite a good number to follow up on what you're doing. Do you feel responsible? So, at first, when I was doing this, right? When you start this, my other co-host Kenneth is doing the conversations. They're a bit advanced and techy and people are not interested, right? So we switch up a little bit. We sit down, we could switch it up a little bit, host a few popular people and see how the world consumes that.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
But I think the algorithm was already killed a bit because I personally liked his conversations because they were a bit knowledgeable, they were big, they defined big, they were read, but they were not consumed. People didn't like that. And we tried it, okay, maybe with Twitter. So different platforms, different consumptions, right? So a clip on Twitter would go viral, but then YouTube wouldn't take it up. But then it also fed into, my anxiety of what am I going to say on the podcast next with this person? Because again, to us, it's not like it's not an interview. I'm not asking you questions for you to answer. You can ask and I answer. It's a conversation, right? It's big. The intention is whoever is listening in can pick something from one of us.
Yeah.
So that need to for preparation. The reason I don't send you questions is I want to pick from your perspective, from your mind, but then it's upon me to have a big question so that alludes to the audience, your mind. So there's that responsibility of I need to make the conversation interesting for Sabrina, for the world to then accept it.
Do I feel that?
Do you feel no? Do you feel responsible for your audience? Do you feel some sense of responsibility that what I am saying?
Yeah.
But you also are a big fan of freedom.
Yeah.
You want to say what you feel like and what.
Yeah, and I actually like what you're saying about. So I have to ask, the conversations that you had with Kenneth.
Yeah.
Are you still putting those up, or what
No,
happened
they
to
were
that?
up. They were up. I just fired him. I told him to start another podcast. I told him he'll start another one.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying, one, I definitely feel responsible. The reason I started doing the stuff that I'm doing now is because I feel like as Ugandans, there was not that much content for us by us. Especially a lot of times when I'm looking for stuff to watch online, now there's stuff, but I used to go and mostly consume Kenyan content, South African, Nigerian. I'm like, what's up with Ugandan? And I feel like I think other creatives felt that way as well, and they've all started to create as well, and there's stuff for us. So I do feel a responsibility because I created this for my audience. I wanted people who like the things that I like watching to have something to watch that is relatable, more tangible, like you see podcasts in the States or whatever, and they're interviewing big celebrity names, and like their experiences are fun to watch, but sometimes they may not be like how it is at home. Like, let's say a story about Bandali, like the other day I saw this guy. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's nicer to hear it when you can see the place and you've been there and you can experience it. And then now, like, I wanted to also speak about what you said earlier about the content you guys were creating.
Yeah.
The freedom I was talking about. Like, a lot of times people may not pick up, like your audience may not pick up on the thing right away, but I feel like with time, it will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so definitely.
Like,
right?
there's an audience for everyone. Not everyone is going to do celebrity interviews. You get what I'm saying?
Do you only do celebrity interviews?
No.
Okay.
I'm very passionate about to that. Like, a lot of my friends happen to be celebrities, and it's great, and I'm happy for them. And also, a lot of the truth is, it does give you a boost. If you go that
they
route,
have the numbers.
It does give you a boost. But it's not just about celebrities. I also wanted to kind of get away from that because I'm coming from the media where it's all about celebrities, like traditional media. It's all about this person with numbers and, I don't know, clout and that sort of thing. I kind of wanted to move away from that, if I'm being completely honest. That's why sometimes I'll have my friends. That's why you're invited. I mean, you are a celebrity in your own right, I guess. Are you?
I'm not.
Okay, because neither am I. So
I don't think I'm a celebrity.
No, so there's that.
So for us though,
Yeah.
It was a reverse. So greatly, this podcast is inspired by the Joe Rogan podcast, right? But Joe Rogan produced about 1,000 episodes without being noticed.
Yes.
He had to hit 1,000 and plus, and then he became the biggest podcaster. Eventually, got the Spotify deal and whatnot. But the thing was, host someone that would have otherwise not gone on TV. Right?
That was the concept.
Yeah.
Okay.
So host someone, that, amongst your friends, you keep having conversations, you definitely know that they're well-read people, they're well-knowledgeable people on certain topics, people who find certain things very interesting and they can share on them. But then these people are far away from what a TV producer would get onto the show. So we said our podcast would actually provide a platform for such a kind of person to, feature and share their knowledge.
Yeah.
So that was also like
and how's that been going for you so far?
It's been good. So it doesn't put you on pressure, You just And also this podcast
You can just call one of these guys and be like, yo,
talk.
Pauline.
I was in the morning as
Yeah.
I was preparing this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had someone from the studio just sit here and we talked for like an hour, recorded, and it was really good.
Okay.
I got to know about some of the things I didn't know they were start dealing with.
Yeah.
Yet I spent so much time with them. So there's that fulfillment in that. Also the power into, having conversations, talking to people, seeing where their mind is at, and knowing if they're a celebrity. This structure of conversation helps you really understand them.
Yeah.
Right? So, and you experience that firsthand before you even publish. So there's that fulfillment. You're like, okay, this person is a human being like I am. Really,
Yeah.
they are flawed. They are also perfect. They have these desires. They have these things and that. So, to me, this is a long game. I am going to podcast for life. I know my son will sit here in the same position and carry on with the conversations. So it's just that, having conversations. I don't even look at the metrics. What do you think about metrics? Do you? But you want numbers. You want money.
You know what? I do want it. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't want money. I don't want numbers. I do. And I really appreciate the people who take the time to watch my content. But I don't like that pressure. You get like, I don't want, like, I want to create stuff that's good. And a lot of times we get lost in that numbers conversation that we start doing silly things. And coming from traditional media, we used to focus a lot on things like that, like how are we going to create a buzz, how are we going to do that. And I'm still in traditional media, but I've seen how it operates like behind the scenes. There's too much pressure for numbers, and I'm like, what's the value in the numbers? Wouldn't you rather have a community that likes you and likes watching you? Or do you want this sensationalization?
Yeah. So also the feedback really motivated me. So it wasn't about the numbers, but eventually people started sending emails, analyzing a conversation, say on mental health or what, and they're telling you, they're correcting you on what you've said.
Yeah.
So I felt like that sense of community was more fulfilling. It was better.
I agree. I agree. Even me, I love my community. I love that those are my people, I have not done... Maybe I have celebrity friends, and that's not my fault.
You definitely have celebrity friends. Because that brings me to the question: what's the process behind guest selection on your podcast?
A vibe.
How do you?
A vibe. You just have to be a vibe. That's it. Yeah.
So you look through your contacts or online and reach out to someone. You're like, okay, can you come onto the pod?
Sometimes, like, my community will suggest, like, have this person, and I'll reach out. But sometimes it's just who do I think would be a vibe, because the show is really just about good vibes. Let me just put it like that. Yeah. It's never that serious. Like, I want someone who's going to come and be unserious. Sometimes I can be too serious. I want someone who's going to dilute the seriousness in me.
So what is the structure of the direction of It's Never That Serious? Do you just get on and is it like Q&A?
Yeah, it's Q&A. So, okay, like, having done interviews over the course of time, they usually have like a specific way that they flow, and I wanted to do something completely different because I realized that the real juice, like the real tea that you want from somebody, is not in where did you grow up, how many siblings do you have, when was your, like, I wanted to ask random silly questions, like I could ask you right now, if today was your last day, how would you spend it?
Today was my last day. Wow. How would I spend it?
Yeah.
I don't know, having sex.
Ooh, that's not a bad answer. I'm not gonna hold you on that. That's not a bad answer. That is actually rather good. I mean, like, why not?
Why not? It's my last day.
Okay, but like with multiple people, or just like one person?
One person.
Oh, is there somebody in mind?
No. No, really, but multiple. No, I don't think so. I've just been watching Masters of Sex, and this is... Have you watched it?
No.
So
but I understand where your head is.
No, really. It's about sex education.
Of course.
Right?
Of course it is.
The whole-fledged doctor. It's about the science of sex.
Oh, of course.
People trying to understand people.
Yeah.
So they're actually people who really enjoy having
sex. Is that on Netflix?
People. Yeah. No, it's not. I had to download it, but it's really interesting. It has 4 seasons.
You went as fast.
Yeah, it has 4 seasons.
4 seasons.
And it's really dope.
So what, like, at the end of it, are you going to be a master of sex? Like, what's that going to be like?
So it turned out to be that the doctor was just addicted to this one chick. So he's also not really a master of sex, right? He was addicted to this one chick. So the whole thing is an explanation on addiction, and people ignore that they can be addicted to people the same way people are addicted to alcohol. right?
And drugs,
So that
okay.
this same doctor kept going for like AA meetings, and he kept listening into these meetings. So at the end of season 4, he gets up to speak, and then he tells them about this chick he has been crushing on, having sex, da, 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 da. But then so people are angry. They're like, "Yo, for us we come here to talk about alcohol. Now for you, you're telling us about Simanya, a woman, what?" So he's like, "Isn't it the same thing? Because you people come here, tell me stories of what you've been
But do you think
doing."
it's the same thing?
It's the same thing.
You think so? You
Addiction
think you
is the
can be
same.
obsessed with somebody to the point that it's almost like an addiction?
You can be addicted.
Maybe men, but women no. I mean, women love
mostly.
hard. I think women love hard. Don't get me wrong, but not to the point where I'm going to AA. But no, it's not that serious.
You have not seen it. You don't have friends who have.
I've not seen it.
Oh
Maybe
my
when you're
God,
young,
that's
but
so
like at this big
common.
age, how are you getting obsessed with somebody to the point of addiction?
Because they're nice. I mean, because
Nice in what way? Describe nice. Like they're nice to you, they're nice sexually, like nice how?
everything combined, like your body connects with yours, your soul connects, the sex is amazing, it's what you want. So you could find someone you are attracted to, and then the bodies fail to connect.
Yeah.
So but this person ticks almost all the boxes. Meanwhile, the guy was actually married, but then he was addicted to this woman, so it cost him everything, his marriage, his what. Of course it's a movie, they had to make
You know what that is? It's called infatuation. These days they even have another name for it. Is it called limerence? When it's like a sickness. I think it's a specific
Exactly.
type of person who overclings. It's like a mental health situation, in my opinion, where
addiction is a mental health situation, isn't it?
it is, but addiction can happen to almost anybody. I think there's a specific type of upbringing you have to cling to someone that obsessively. I actually understand being addicted to other things like drugs and alcohol more than I understand being addicted to another human being.
It's actually
That stuff is
do
gonna-
you understand being addicted to your phone?
Yeah.
Do you know that it's the same thing as being addicted to alcohol? If you get diagnosed
No.
as you're
No.
addicted to the phone, it is the same thing.
I
Same
strongly
effects.
disagree. Like
Why?
how? Okay, maybe for the next generation.
No,
Maybe
even
I'm
for this.
speaking as a millennial.
Do you
and I-
feel like you're addicted to your phone? You can go on a trip and do away with that.
Yeah.
But you've not tested it. You don't really know if you can do away with it.
So there was a time I went for nyege and lost my phone on the first night. I spent the whole nyege without a phone. Did I die? No.
Well, there you have an immediate distraction of, people having fun, so you don't really think it.
Yeah. True. Okay, let me think. It has happened. The truth is, I love my phone, and I do almost everything with it. Now that ChatGPT entered the chat, it's even more toxic. But I don't, and I understand being addicted to your phone more than I understand being addicted to somebody. Maybe I've never experienced
You've
it for me
never
to
met that
understand it.
person.
That's why I'm not trying to disregard people's feelings, but I don't understand it. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, move on.
No, that can't be the answer. It can't be to move on. But yes, there is that. Where was I before I actually brought in that point?
Okay, we've gone down a rabbit hole. And me, I feel like I have still so much more to say, but it's kawa. We move.
How do you connect with your people?
Which people? Who are my
Your
people?
community?
I give them content, I guess.
That's it.
That's a hard question. How do I connect with my people?
Okay, let me phrase it like this. How do shared stories create a sense of community for you and belonging? Because again, you're always sharing stories, getting to know this and who here. Yeah, I mostly liked your conversation with Epas. Then I saw you brought my friend Melissa Mulungi also.
Yeah.
And,
So, yeah.
there's the guy I've been watching. In fact, it's still there. Let me show you this guy. Well, the thing is, I think it's called Master Gabs.
Yes, Master Gabs.
So I have mixed feelings about this conversation with
Why? Give me your
I don't
feedback
know.
here and now. And remember that most of these people are my friends.
my
Say
God.
it with your chest.
It was, I don't know. I don't want to give you the feedback. But
You give me the feedback and I'll make sure he watches
Why
this
does
as
he
well.
watch Love Island?
Why not?
Why is he that person?
Let me just say this. Have you ever watched Love Island?
No, my girl was trying to force me to watch it. But
No, like, let me tell you something. When I had the name Love Island, because I'm the kind of person who likes more,
masculine things.
I wouldn't say masculine, but like, I want adventure, action, that sort of thing, you know? Like, I like Shogun. Did you watch Shogun?
Yeah.
Okay. That's more my thing. Then someone says Love Island. I was like, what kind of nonsense is this? I watched 2 episodes like this. I was hooked. Do you know hooked? And this was the days of DVDs. So I had to go to Funds and buy, and Love Island is mob. Like there were like 5 DVDs.
It's mob, really.
Mob. Like it's so long. It's like I think 2 hours each episode. I don't know how long it is, but I got all the DVDs of that
What's
season.
the story?
And I watched.
I find it very feminine. I find it like something my mom would watch. Like, you know how they used to watch La Tormenta, those things.
No, I think it's more of it's like a human experiment. I think that's what's cool about it. Like the ultimatum. All these things centered on love are usually like human experiments in my opinion. Reality shows. So they bring people in a house, but they always make sure that the number of females versus males is less, or males versus females is less. So there's always one person who's going to end up single. So your goal is to couple up with somebody and they keep eliminating the single one. You get, so it's really putting your game to the test. Like, do you have game? Do you have riz? Hey, you always chatting. Okay, you have to vibe somebody in a space of like 48 hours. Vibe to the point where you make sure this person is locked in and they're not going to fox you. Because now they put you up like they put you up against each other and they say, okay, who are you choosing? So if the men are more, they choose the women. Sorry, the women choose, and then the extra man will go. If the women are more...
So if you're not chosen, you go automatically, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. Trust me.
Yeah, so I had my reservations about his
So there was a question there. You asked, how do I create a sense of community?
Yeah.
First of all, I like to engage and talk to my audience. I like to hear what their opinions are and get feedback. What do you want? Who do you want next time? What can I do better? What people are always roasting me in the comments and stuff. I'm like, it's kawa. As long as you're here, I'm okay with it. You get. So I guess just talking about things that are relatable, things that people can all, once in a while go back to and be like, oh, you know what? I also did that, or I also feel that way, or like stuff like that. So I think that's one of the ways that I create that community. And I also always make time to talk to my
people.
Yeah.
You have like a WhatsApp group.
No, they be in my DMs
page.
and they be in my comments. I don't have a fan page yet. Like what? At what point do you create a fan page? I said, do you have a WhatsApp group?
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay, but I feel like it's,
but I had
at some
one.
point
I just
it should
closed
be
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you close it?
It was too much for me. It fed into my vision, right? Everyone was suggesting what I should do. In that WhatsApp. They felt entitled to the product, and everyone wanted to change it in their own sense of it. I closed it, gave them an offer. I told them, whoever has an idea, I'll give you production for free. Come and execute your idea.
That thing, does it trigger you? Like when you do something and everyone is
so
giving their suggestions on what you should do?
Criticism is interesting, right?
Yeah.
But so people have plastic criticism, right? You release... Unless we're talking about a topic that must have an expert on it. But someone will send you a thing and tell you, I wish you changed the... I saw Sabrina's podcast, but I wish you changed the background to like red. I think red would have fit better with her green dress. So something like that is entirely out of my control in that moment. It's just your eye liking something, you get. And yeah, so I used to get a lot of that. Right? It was never about maybe your sound didn't come out very well, camera angles are missing. It was about very interesting things. I think you should change the set or go to a normal and shoot from like a normal. And you're like, come on, man. so I like criticism and feedback, but yeah, some of the feedback is really feedback that does not communicate change or does not communicate a solution to your problem. Yeah, it's just a fantasy you're wishing to me. So they're
living vicariously through you. Like for me, I'm not gonna lie, I really do appreciate feedback, but sometimes it pisses me off. like I appreciate. There's a quote I had somewhere, like, don't take advice from someone who is not in the position you want to be in, right? Like, you've never created a podcast. You've never created a YouTube show. You don't know the work that goes into it.
They tell
you
you
understand?
They've never done
so,
it.
like, you've never done this thing.
Yeah, like
you have no idea where I'm planning on going. You've only seen, like, a couple of episodes. You don't know what growth plan I have. And here you come with your advice. I love it if it's, like, constructive criticism.
Exactly.
But
Let it
like
be
when it's
constructive.
just some, like me, I think, keep your thoughts to yourself. I
Yeah,
don't want
so
you to tell me
exactly
what
how
you
I
think.
feel.
I'm joking. Like I said, I like feedback, especially now with a car show. I think I don't want to offend guys, but guys, men like mansplaining things, right?
So I think everyone was there.
So I
Tell us
breathed.
about the engine already.
Like people were in my DMs. No, you need to talk about it. I'm like, bro, this is one episode. Just see how the other episodes look. Maybe we shall tackle the things you are asking for us to tackle. Like, calm down. It will come in due time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So sometimes feedback is good, but sometimes guys like fall back.
How many people have you hosted so far on It's Never That Serious?
I have to count because the first season had 12 episodes. The next season had 11 episodes.
And now, so
And
that's
the third
23.
season so far, I've recorded 7 episodes.
So that's
7 or
30,
8.
30 people.
30 something.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't count. Sorry.
So with all these humans you've hosted,
yeah.
do you believe humans have an inherent sense of purpose from the conversations you've had with these 30 people, just the ones you've published? Do you believe it's a thing, or so there are two types of humans. There are people like me who are just living.
My kind of people.
So I don't think I know myself that much, right? I also don't feel like I've realized my purpose. I like this podcast thing. I like the studio. It's what I have to do. But I wake up so many times and I feel like I am tired of, just living. And I'm not suicidal at all, by the way. But, I just
But like life
feel
is just
like,
a drag.
I'm like, yes, it's a drag. Like now I have to get out. I have to go to do this. So all that, right? But the people I host on my podcast, like you, are all these people who have a purpose. They are into media. They're doing this. They seem it's not all roses, but at least they have a sense of purpose. So is that the same experience with your people? Do you feel like everyone you've hosted now has some sense of purpose or meaning in their life?
Yeah. I feel like we all do have, and I'm not even trying to be politically correct. I think everybody has a purpose and everybody has meaning. But I think we put too much pressure on what that looks like. Everyone's purpose is different, right? Like some people are not meant to be one thing for the rest of their lives. And I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to find that one thing. But what if you're meant to do multiple things? What if your purpose is to bring people happiness? How are you doing that? Who cares? You understand? Like you can be a comedian, you can be a YouTube host, you can be Mr. Beast. Like, because I'm doing media now. I do social media, blah blah blah. But if you ask me when I was 21, 22 years old, what I'd be doing right now, I had no idea. I had no clue. And even now, as we speak, I don't know where it's gonna take me. Because my dreams are so big. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna achieve it in this route. You get, as long as like you have things that make you happy, things that inspire you, and you are working on something, you can change your direction like a million times. Maybe that's your purpose. Your purpose is to figure life out.
What's your dream?
My dream, it's too big. It's scary.
I have the time.
So when I was younger, I always said, okay, like honestly, let me be honest with you. My dream is to be one of the biggest content creators on the continent. And
So big
I
in
want
terms of
to
both numbers and money, right?
mostly
They move.
money and opportunities. Like numbers, obviously, I want those as well. But I've seen people who have achieved very many things and their numbers are okay. You get what I'm saying? Like their numbers are not like 1 million subs on YouTube, but they have opportunities. They're meeting people. They're going places. Me, my biggest passion in life is meeting people. Like everything that I do now, I realize is centered around that. My podcast, the car show, the what. Like I just want to meet people and have different experiences. Success to me looks like if I have experienced the world to the max. Remember when I said living? I'm obsessed with living. Yeah. My mic went off. Why did you look like that?
No. as
I got sound.
yes,
Hey,
yes.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, like that's
Also,
Yeah,
as
my
someone
dream.
that has done a media, now you've switched into this new age, YouTube, digital platforms. Do you feel like media consumption has changed?
Yeah.
From like TV?
1,000%. 1,000%. I had this conversation with some friends of mine like 3 years ago, 2022, and I was telling them I feel like there's going to be a massive shift to the digital space. They're arguing with me like in countries like Uganda, there's not enough internet penetration. So I'm like, listen, we are going to get there, and that shift is going to happen, whether you want it or
So
not.
you feel like we're in that shift, right?
We are in that shift.
Even here in Uganda.
Everywhere in the world, even here in Uganda. Haven't you noticed it?
Yeah.
Like amongst our peers, how many people actually, and this is not even like knocking anyone, but how many people are more on YouTube versus on TV?
TV. It's just so simple. If I don't think there's a TV show that can prove that in this 1 hour it's airing, it has 20,000 viewers. But there's a TikTok video that will have 20,000
And that's also another
viewers.
big advantage
Yeah.
with it as well. It's like you can monitor numbers in real time.
Yeah.
Whereas TV, you can't. You can only speculate and be like, this is the average.
True.
Yeah.
Because
So
then what happens to if there are 6 people in the family watching the same show at the same time? You can't count that,
you
right?
can't.
Okay.
Whereas YouTube, I think media is going to have to morph into something. Like I don't think it's going to go away completely, you know?
Definitely won't.
It's,
But
it's going to be affected greatly though.
look at how
It has to morph into
digital age has affected American politics to,
Yeah.
being President Trump, where almost he had this fight with legacy media, and he was using just people on Twitter, influencers to influence his agenda. And it put a new world leader into power.
Yeah.
So I think the direction has really shifted greatly.
There's a lot of power in social media. There's a lot of power in the digital space. And anybody, in my opinion, who is in traditional media, I don't feel like it's going to die out anytime soon. But eventually, inevitably, even this social media we're all hyping up now, eventually one day in the future, it's also going to be a thing of our past. You can understand? There's going to be another level. So the best possible solution, start integrating yourself into the digital space. Like slowly find a way to tap in, find a way to do things there. That's how you will survive. The way radio stations like in the first world countries started posting stuff on like YouTube, on like they had like streaming thingies, you can listen live. The Breakfast Club blew up just because they used to put their stuff on YouTube. You get like, I wouldn't know about the Breakfast Club if it weren't for YouTube.
Yeah.
So those are people who saw the vision those days. And then,
Do you also feel like stories and how they're being told has changed?
yeah.
It's easier and up close for me to know what is happening in Eddie Kenzo's life now, because you'll host them on your podcast
Yeah.
and you'll ask them questions I will maybe be interested in. Things maybe they will not say on TV because TV will target like an advertiser and just do something with some sense of like directed engineering,
Yeah.
which is not the case anymore. So for you, how are you telling your stories?
Back in the day when I grew up, first of all, I keep going back in the day because like I'm
like
such a
Museveni.
nostalgic person. I'm such a nostalgic person. But do you realize like celebrities back then were celebrities? Like you used to look at a celebrity on TV and be like, yo,
Because it was managed media.
mystery. Yeah, exactly. Me, I liked that. I'm not gonna lie. And now that it's me in these spaces, I like to keep my air of mystery. I don't want to put my business out there. But how do I tell stories, me personally or through my platforms?
Through you personally and through your platform.
Me personally, I find it very hard to share my personal life. I'm very private. If like even in my friends, like there's
How are
5
you relating
people.
with the people on your show if you are not telling them your personal experiences?
As on the show,
How do
I
you
will.
get
Like
them?
even
Okay.
here, like right now, I will tell you. On the show, I will. On It's Never Serious, I will tell you. On Mileage, I will tell you. But like for me to get onto Instagram, and I struggle with this a lot, like get on live and start talking to people and hey guys, let's do this. I find it very hard. So how I tell stories is through, first of all, giving other people who people look up to or people who could teach my audience something, giving them a platform to express themselves. And then also just taking it like a day at a time. I don't know how to answer this question. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a very private person. I don't know. Like, how do I tell stories? I tell stories through my platforms by inviting, like, let's say now when you come to my podcast, we're gonna learn things about you that other people can relate to.
True.
And also not like they may have thought like I'm the only person who feels this way, but there's many other people who feel that way, and Mark is one of those people. You know what I mean? So I tell stories through people, and also through like authenticity, should I say? Yeah.
Okay. I see that.
I feel like I'm at a press conference.
No, by the way, so the thing about this podcast
Yeah.
is I can ask and you ask after, so I can tell you a whole thing.
Yeah.
You do that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that's basically how it is. This was supposed to be my first.
How do you tell stories? I want to hear you answer that question.
By being vulnerable. So
Oh.
I use most of. So if
Do you feel like people can use your vulnerability against you?
yeah, but that's the thing. By the time I'm telling you something, it means I have so much power over it that you can't use it against me. Yeah. So it's also like I don't want to say it's to me it's podcasting is like another mindfulness activity I do, like meditation, right? So when I talk to people, they tell me what they're going through, I tell them what I'm going through, I tell them what I'm doing, they tell me what they're doing, like that. We share back and forth. And now it's the only time I do it because I spare all my reasonable conversations for podcast. So it's
Okay, tell me. Let's unpack like something you feel vulnerable about.
like what?
That's
So
my
it will
question.
depend.
Like, okay, let's say something personal about you that you feel. What's your biggest insecurity?
Biggest insecurity.
It could be physical. It could be psychological.
So it's psychological. The fact that I am single right now, I feel very insecure about it.
Why?
Because family has been my things from a very. I have grown up seeing my dad, raise us into like a family setting. It's all good. So I tried to do it. Then got a child, then broke up. Then it hit me so bad. So I feel very insecure about it. And right now I'm just 30 years. Not just really. It's a lot. I feel like I'm old.
You have a child?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. How old is he?
He's 9 years. I had him when I was 21. So you get that.
So did you think that did you feel like you were going to be with that person for the rest of your life?
Yes, because like I thought this is it. That's all I knew. I'm coming from a very humble, stable family where mommy and daddy are together. Daddy comes back every day. Mommy comes back every day. To trying to do that and then it didn't happen, right? So yeah, that's my biggest insecurity. Also the sense of not understanding who I am right now and thinking that I might end up single or alone. I'm not really hell-bent into like, it's not like I can't date someone.
You know what? I think all singles go through that phase. We all be like, what if I end up alone? But I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it's
what
a
are
really
the chances
scary
that we are
thought.
all going to end up alone? Like,
I know we might fail to work on it.
But then,
And just
let me
keep
tell
it
you,
a vibe.
from my experience, I'm also single. But me, I'm not like, I don't feel insecure about it. Because first of all, let me tell you what, it's fun. But aside from it being fun, it's not
So I
fun.
used to think it's fun, but it is not.
It's fun, man. Like, what's the unfun part about being single? Tell me, what do you not enjoy? Do you realize
Being alone, the feeling of being alone is so
But you see,
so
like, I think
scary.
we demonize that feeling so much that we forgot to see the bigger picture. Being alone is better, first of all, than being in the wrong company and being with the wrong person, wasting your life and
You
years
can never
away.
know who the wrong person is
But
until you are there.
you knew it was the wrong person, and then you
When
left
you're
that
there.
relationship. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you, how many relationships have you had where someone has been together for 10 years and then they break up? 10 fucking years
I've seen
wasted.
some. I mean, Pep Guardiola and the wife.
Like, it's such a waste of time. Me, I feel like in that time I would have been single, and you never know. I would have met somebody who I'm more compatible with in that time. But then on top of that, when you do get married, when you do have children, whenever that happens, and it will happen, if you don't fear, you will never have alone time alone. You'll never walk into the house to silence. You will never, like, the things that you do in your house that are just me, Mark, I'm doing. That will be the end of that. Now you will forever have to do.
I find them.
It gets boring, but it's listen.
It has
enjoy.
to be a shared space.
Huh?
It has to be like a shared space.
Me, I don't like. Okay, I think also it takes being in a bad relationship, not a bad relationship. Jesus, I make it sound bad, but it takes being in the wrong relationship to appreciate being alone. Maybe you need that. Maybe you need to go and the streets baptize you by fire. Like being alone is so much fun and it's so underrated. I don't know why we demonize it so much. It's so nice.
So
I can wake up and go wherever the hell I want at 3 a.m. Who is going to ask me questions? No.
But you know, I feel like the things people are scared of are very cliche things. So for me, when I was staying with someone, those were not my worries, right? I was very secure with this person, that they were very secure with themselves, that I would not, okay, people call it disrespect, but I would still act the way I'm acting, right? I will not have questions on my discipline, the habits I've picked up, why I'm going out at night. Like I'm an adult. I need to go see my friends if I have to go see my friends. It's just a sense of, now I'm with someone that just gets in your mind, maybe this is bad, this is good, but if you
No, I think it's just like common courtesy. Even like when I'm at my father's house, I can't leave at certain times. But when I'm at my house, everything goes. But then also like more on the vulnerability. You're a man. Men do the choosing, right? How can you end up alone? Let's start there. But also, how come you're single? Let me let's ask
I am
those
not currently
questions.
single.
You're not.
No.
Stop wasting my time. Next question. Next
See
question.
someone, I'll tell you.
So how can you be insecure about something
Because
that you're not already?
I know we're not going to end up together. They subscribe to another religion, and we have failed to agree on that.
What religion?
The Muslim, I'm not.
So the issue would be how to raise your children, or
How
somebody would have to
One
convert.
has to convert. In most cases, she wants me to convert, but then I come from a really strong Catholic family that.
And she's also from
converting-
a strong.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Converting would
Me, I
break
feel
my
like
dad's
those
heart.
things divide us. Now, what's that? That's not fair. Like you found your person, and then the only thing standing between you and them is
Yeah,
religion.
the thing is, I don't even need them to convert. I just need them to be able to come to church.
So you're asking for too much. Can't you
On
just
the
both
wedding day.
exist on the wedding day?
Yeah, they just have to come to the Catholic church.
And they're not okay with that.
They feel like, no, it's not okay. They also consider
So what
values,
would
how
a
to raise
compromise be?
children.
Would a compromise be just a ceremony that's
Yes,
not
they
anywhere?
want something, maybe put like a pastor on the beach or what.
Yeah, then that's a fair compromise.
Yeah, but
Imagine
my dad
asking,
don't accept that.
huh?
My dad wouldn't accept that. And I have disobeyed my dad so much while growing up that
That you don't want to do.
anymore. Yeah.
I hear you. Anyway, then the right person will come.
Truly. So that's what's your insecurity?
My insecurity.
Your biggest.
That bro, that's a
Also, yeah, you
that is I don't want to say it, man.
So, first be thinking about it. I'll come back.
I don't want to say. I've thought about it. I know what it is. I don't want to say it. See, when my eyes are tearing up.
Do you ever feel like you have not done enough before you appear on camera? So do you ever feel bad about how you've dressed, how you looking, what's not right? Because you're publishing to millions of people.
Do I ever?
Feel insecure about
No.
how you're going to present?
What I'm gonna say, yes, but how I look, no. Like I'm always more focused on what I'm
Going to say.
going to say.
But do you feel bad about saying? Do you ever feel bad about what you have said?
I really watch what I say. In case you haven't noticed, like from this conversation, I am very careful and deliberate about the things I say. So I've very rarely felt bad, but I have felt bad sometimes about certain things that I've said.
So I don't like editing my own podcast because I don't want to listen to myself again.
I 100% agree. Do you know how much of a struggle it is for me to watch myself?
I'll feel like delete that. So because I was doing it, but then I'd end up staying with like 20 minutes out of a 2-hour conversation. I was like, did I say this? Oh my God, no, I exposed this. Oh, maybe I said about this about family and things like that. So I just wait for it on YouTube.
Interestingly, Melissa asked me, like, what happens when you don't like how you look or you don't like something you said on air? If it's extremely bad, that's going to get me in trouble. Let's say the law, then I'll take it out. But if it's just something that I'm afraid people are going to judge me for saying, I don't take that out. Because it's no longer about me. When I create, it's not about me. It's about the audience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have to watch myself because I have to see exactly what's going on. but I don't edit my, like, I'm not nitpicky like that. Like, it will be fine. You guys will be fine.
So how do you approach sensitive or controversial subjects? I've also seen, you've hosted, I don't want to call him controversial, but I think the general public thinks he is. My very good friend, Onen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Fat
people
boy,
like
for
that,
people
fat
who don't
boy,
know,
yes. So just not him, and I don't want to really label him controversial. I feel like he just has...
He is controversial.
He really has his opinion.
Yes, and his opinions are controversial. Don't sugarcoat it. I don't think he even minds. I think he's okay with being called controversial.
But me, I don't think it's controversial. I think people don't like to embrace the other side of opinion.
Yeah.
From what they usually
Yeah.
say. Yeah. But yes, how do you handle sensitive things? Say if you host a man like me, and I give you a misogynistic take, but really it's what I believe in, right? Because again, I am a traditional Muganda man who is raised by a Muganda man who believes in something.
Man, that's your opinion. Why would I censor your opinion?
Okay.
Like I said, unless it gets me in trouble with the authorities, it's staying in. Like, it's okay. Like, not everyone is supposed to agree.
You are really an advocate of free speech. Everyone,
Man, like,
nice.
say what you want to say. Okay. Like, jazz, you get, like, that's why we have social media now. Like, say get it off your chest. And I feel like
also you play
even
big
if
role
I don't
in
agree
shaping.
even if I don't agree with what you're saying, it's irrelevant. That's why I say it's not about me anymore. It's about the audience. And there's people out there who want to hear that. So
but remember, you play a big role in shaping perspective, right? Because you have about
and
4K people watching every episode.
Yeah.
Right? So it means those people are going to pick from your school of thought.
A part of, they teach this in journalism school, you're supposed to be objective. You're supposed to give people both sides of the story and they decide what they want to believe. You understand? That's the whole point.
Now it makes sense. A friend of mine, up on the sun, Ford, in about 5 episodes, told me to go for journalism school after I had published 5 episodes.
Yeah.
He was like, you're so free course with this podcasting thing. You're just saying things there on the podcast. No. Go to journalism and learn to be objective. What? Now it makes sense. That
you have to give, like, even if, let's say, Fat Boy has an opinion that doesn't sit well with many people, there are people who agree with him. You understand? And even those who disagree with him, let them hear his take. Then, you know, like in school, there was opposers and proposers.
Yeah.
You have to hear both sides to know which one to dis. And then you, as a human being, with your common sense, you pick a side. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't censor anything. Like I said, the law, very important to note. But everything else, even if I agree with it, even if I disagree with it, it goes on air.
Take, for example, how engaging are you on X?
I don't like X.
But do you use it? Do you see the stories that So recently there's been a story of, I think, a traditional guy, Kekesa. I think he's trying to date, quote unquote, baddie. So then the thing goes viral. I don't know if you've heard that.
Kekesa who?
Godfrey.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what though? Am I allowed to say this? I hate his opinions.
Yeah, like I hate his opinions.
Like from the bottom of my heart,
I
my
hate his
soul,
opinions.
in there. I don't like, every time I actually muted him or blocked him. And I just even bringing him up here, you're killing my vibe. Like, do you know, I have a strong, because I can't believe that, like, for me, the final straw was, I don't even want to talk about it. No.
Okay.
No. But what happened to Godfrey? Because it sounds like it was bad and I'm invested.
Yeah, so I don't think it's bad, but I was just trying to show you something about opinion and how sometimes it's counter-intrusive. Now, I think that his relationship goes public, right? Then the whole world is telling this chick that how can you date this guy? Right?
Yeah.
But they're only saying that because they find his opinion controversial. Mind you, I hate Kekesa. I have told him personally online. I have told him I don't find whatever he does as masculine energy for me. I find it as just, I look at him as a wannabe of some sense of hardcore guy. Because there's things he says that are really plain out. But that is my opinion.
Yeah.
My friend here, Martin, is a big fan of the guy.
Martin is a red flag. Tell him he's a moving red flag. No, but the truth is, okay, so for me, this is
So the community
this is a thing.
gags him because of his opinion. They gag him from having a romantic relationship because of how they feel about his opinions to life.
Okay,
and I
but-
find that unfair.
The truth is, yeah, I feel like, yeah, it is unfair. I do not like this person's opinions, and something tells me if we did meet, I probably would not get along with them very well because of obviously how they think. But also, he's a human being, man. Like, is he not going to date? Is he not going to get married? Is he not going to have a child? And there's a community of people who clearly, like, I see him
True.
post and
A
people
lot.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know. So there's people out there like Martin who think like that, and he represents them. So, yeah, for me, the thing that really broke my heart was a time when some girls passed away. I don't want to get into it, and I was like, no, that was below the belt, and that was unnecessary. Like, people are dead, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it made me feel like all this for content. You know, sometimes we have to draw the line somewhere.
When do you draw the line?
Right?
Okay,
Yeah, like,
for your case, when do you draw the line?
I draw the line when it's, like, think about the human being on the other side of your opinion.
But
You
then there's
understand?
black
Like,
humor. Also, people on the internet are strangers, right?
first think
So,
about this.
Listen,
I draw the line at death. A dead father, a dead daughter, a dead child, a dead anything. Hands off. Like, don't talk about anyone's dead anything. Even if I was in the wrong, even if I was drunk and I made a fool out of myself and threw myself off a building.
so have you seen
I'm
situations
dead.
where a child to a political figure loses the parent,
Yeah.
and how people react online?
Yeah.
So you feel like that's also still unfair.
That's so stupid. Like, where are your morals? Like, who raised you? For me, I feel like that's so, like, I don't understand people who do that. I'll never understand it. And that's why for me, for that Godfrey guy, blocked. Like, and obviously,
You
he
actually
didn't lose
block
sleep.
him
He didn't
because-
even know me.
No, true. I hear.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't want that. Those are bad vibes, that's bad energy. And you're inviting bad karma to yourself. Because guess what? One day your parent will also die, God forbid. But that will happen. How would you feel if people go on the internet and start making fun of it? That shit is whack. So bad.
But you also have to put in account how I've been feeling when
I don't give a flying fuck
This
about how
person
you've
is
been
dead.
feeling. If someone is dead, they're dead. Like, leave the dead alone. You know? I don't know how to emphasize this enough for people to understand. However you've been feeling, you should have said that shit when I was alive. But now that I'm dead, leave me be. That's the least we can do. Like, respect the dead. I'm not here to defend myself. So now what are you doing? Like, you literally are like picking a fight with a dead person. That's
Which
so
is
silly. Like,
senseless,
that's
right?
cowardice, actually. Like, you couldn't say to my face, you waited until I died, and then now you've said it. Nah, there's nothing to respect about that.
not even my emotions. Well,
Respectfully,
sometimes people feel like death is the equalizer, you know? Like, as much
how
as
is it the
everybody
equalizer
dies,
if we're all gonna die? Like,
But I mean, you've
use the
died
common
fast.
sense. Are you not gonna die?
You died first.
Now imagine you die, and then there's an ex conversation. By the knock on wood, by the way, I'm superstitious about that. And by the way, that Mark guy,
yeah.
he even like did this, he even did this, and I think he even did this. You know the most you can do or the least you can do is just keep quiet. And your heart say, good,
He's
he
an
died.
idiot, yeah.
Yeah. But like, leave it, you know? Yeah. That's my opinion.
And yeah.
And
I
also
think
you're
it's
entitled to
acceptable.
yours, but yours is wrong.
What challenges have you faced over time in your production, in this thing, before we actually switch away from, you know, you being
What challenges have I faced?
yeah.
In
Through
what
media?
sense?
Tell me challenges.
Comparison.
Tell me- Okay. How are you being compared?
Bro. First of all, when I was younger, there was pressure to be a baddie, to be a, what they call them? Socialite.
Yeah. Socially.
Yeah, there was that pressure. Everyone would be like, why can't you be more like this person? Why can't you be more like be like this? Like, and this pressure also comes from inside, like where you're working, not even externally. And when you're not really about that life, because like me, I'm a very private person. When you're not really about that life, it kind of hinders your growth. Because now there was a season there, I don't know if it's still the same because I've been hired for a while now, but there was a season there where to get hired, it was all about numbers. What does your social media look like? What does this look like? And me, I'm not like now, I last posted about mileage. The next post I posted was Saturday, and today is the day that it is, whenever this episode airs. The only thing I'll probably post about next is it's never that serious. I don't like posting my personal things. Once in a while I will, but rarely. So it's challenging when you're trying to grow in the industry, but you're not really that kind of, Yeah, I just don't. I think that has been a really big challenge of mine. And
Do
then
you publish on TikTok as well?
yeah, the podcast.
No, it's never that serious.
Yeah, the podcast and mileage. Me personally,
No.
I tried, but the thing is, I don't know. I think that's an insecurity I have, like being perceived by people, doing things.
This is where you don't want to share private information or private stuff.
No, private information. I'm just naturally
But
private.
when do you draw the line? Because if you've flown out of the country, I'll know. I'll see a picture of you on.
But how many
Instagram.
pictures have you seen? Have you seen what I've done? What breakfast I've had? What shoes I wore? Where I went after this? What you know what I mean? Like I do post. I'm not gonna lie, I do post. But there's those people who you will be on the trip with them. You've understood they use the go-kart to get from this house to the boat. When they reach the boat, they did this in the boat. They first offered them
you've been on that
champagne,
trip
but
as
they
well.
refused. Then they said, let me do whiskey instead. Then they drink the whiskey. But then later when they change their mind, they drink champagne. They'll drink like you get what I'm saying? Like you will be on the trip, but you will not know everything I've done. And yeah, like that's kind of. But I think in Uganda, like everyone who goes on a trip is a socialite. I don't understand the thought process
Well,
there.
I think that's the trend. So one time my brother was out of the country, so he posted on his Facebook, right? I think he had gone to, I think he should have been America. So our dad called for family meeting to tell us about how reckless it is to post if you live in the country, or people should never know that you have left. It's not special. He reminded us that, he had his passport filled when we were about, I think I was in S2, when he had traveled literally almost everywhere. And he didn't make, he was traveling for work anyway. So to him, it didn't make sense why our generation broadcasts everything that goes into
Yeah, because it's our generation, not theirs.
But it made sense.
They made the
'Cause,
decisions they
the
made
bad
in their
energy.
time.
Do you believe in the principle of
Listen,
energies?
I 100% agree with energies, but you're not going to hold me hostage for my life because of bad energy. Guess what? I have a podcast. I'm on TV. Bad energy, like, what am I going to do about it? You get, like, so I'm not going to live my life because of bad. By the way, there was that thing that was going around on TikTok at the evil eye,
isn't it
monitoring
there?
spirits. They're there, but so the fuck what? Am I not going to live my life? No, we must also, as Africans, we must stop. We must stop. Like, come on. So, their generation, our parents' generation, are very particular about very many things. I feel like, to an extent, it's low-key toxic. Actually, high-key toxic. Yeah. Like, so I learned a while ago, listen to your parents, love your parents, but treat their opinions just like everyone else's opinions. Their opinions. They're not living your life. They're not Mark. They're not Sabrina.
So in this TV show I was watching, it's actually there.
Yeah?
It was pointless to listen to the parents because the dad was actually breaking up with the mom because their sex life was really, really trouble. Yet the daughter is actually a sex therapist. But the parents could not go and take that,
Yeah, obviously. Because I wouldn't want to hear my parents talking like, So yeah, man, post your pictures.
And just leave your life.
And block your dad.
And spare him the judgment.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So, how do you... What was the question? Oh my God. Yeah, what kind of stories do you want to leave behind? Why are you looking at your time?
I'm actually reading something. It's okay. How do I want stories to?
What stories do you want to leave behind about you?
So, like, where am I going?
If you
Behind
die.
where? If I die.
If you become non-existent.
I think
Or
that's...
legacy. Kind of like, what stories do you want to leave in your legacy? So that means you don't have to die, but the person you are 5 years from now will look back to something like this.
I mean, that I lived life. I took chances. I took risks. I did things that I thought I wouldn't do. Yeah, like, that's what I want.
What do you think is your purpose?
To live life, man.
That's not purpose.
It is. Who decides what a purpose is and what isn't?
Because
Who
everyone
decides?
lives life.
Yeah.
Everyone alive.
And
lives.
how do you know that you have not fulfilled your purpose by living life? How do you know
How
that?
do you find meaning in life?
So for me, as long as I push myself out of my comfort zone, I feel like I've accomplished something. You get when you asked me earlier about purpose and everything, I was like, just trying to be a better version of yourself or improve yourself. Yeah, like that's just for me. I feel like in this moment, that's enough. We don't know the future because who knows what's going to happen next? What if Mark, me, and you are here chilling, and the UN comes and drops a stack in your lap and says, "We need your podcast in, let's say, the States or something. Like we need to make a global something."
I dream about that every day.
You get what I'm saying? Like you don't know where the future is going to take you. What you can do right now is what's within your control. What's within your control? I can create content. I can publish that content. I can be a better version of myself. How do I do that? Maybe working out, maybe quitting a bad habit, maybe improving yourself in a certain way. Like now, what the moment you're in right now is more important than a hypothetical future that you don't even know what's going to happen there. You know what I mean? Yeah, so for me, my purpose is to live life because I don't know where life's going to take me. May take me to the White House. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know? They'll be like, first African first lady. I'm like, yes, baby. So, yeah, like, live life.
Where do you draw the line from delusion and reality?
There's no line for me. We spoke about energies earlier.
Yeah.
As long as it exists, as long as I see it, as long as I can perceive myself in that thing, I can achieve that thing. Me, I'm delusional to the max. I'm telling you, to the max.
That's your solution to life.
That you know what? Like when I was younger, this when I was younger business has become too much. But I have to tell you the story. I used to tell myself like when I grow up, I'm going to first start working with a local TV station. Then I'm going to work on DSTV.
TV, you know?
I'm coming. Then I'm going to work on DSTV. Then I'll be a continental sensation, you know? And then I'll go to the States and be like on TRL and 106 and Park. I don't know if you remember those shows.
Yes, I still watch 106 and Park.
It's still there?
Nah, the YouTube's. So I go back to them.
Oh, okay. But there was also TRL and MTV. TRL Zanda was like, that's what I want to do. Here I am. And when I look back, I have accomplished some of the things that I said I was going to accomplish. You know what I mean? So the idea, and I feel like if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not dreams. If you can see your dream tomorrow, like I don't think it's a dream. It doesn't qualify because it's very achievable. That's maybe just a goal. Your dreams need to be like, that's why I call it a dream, you know? It needs to be freakishly and outlandishly crazy. That other people call you crazy when they hear you say those things. But then you know you're going to get it. Everyone who has been great always had that mentality. You know what I mean? They always knew. Like when you ask them, like, I always knew this was going to happen. I don't know how, don't know when, but it will happen.
I don't think they say they don't know how.
No, there's like
They must
a bunch
define
of,
their how.
There's no how. There's like, that's why I keep telling you, like, who would have thunk that DSTV, sorry.
Yeah, you have just press it back. One of these things. No, look for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the Holy Spirit intervening because I was about to say things, but let's move.
I know what was I saying. Who would have thanked?
Like the things that we aspired to be when we were younger now just seem so little. Do you realize that? When I was younger, I just wanted a phone. I have an iPhone 13 where I can call somebody from anywhere in the world. The iPhone 13 is not a flex. The fact that we have video phones when you were 15 and somebody told you that, that's not even long ago. When you were 15 is not long ago.
Yeah.
But would you have envisioned that there would be phones this advanced?
No.
You just don't have
Direct control on what's going to
you
happen.
have no idea what the future holds. Like, even if they tell you this, you may not be able to imagine it. So just always imagine the very best. Be delusional to the max.
So,
Goals, dreams.
as a publisher also, and you give yourself to the world, you know, your intellect, your knowledge, the things, your stories. You also host other people to share stories with you. In this comes comments.
What's your dream? What's your big audacious dream is what we usually call it.
Big dream.
Mm-hmm.
Be rich.
That's it. What does rich look like to you?
Be a billionaire.
What does it look like? Like, let's say you're rich now, Mark. A day in your life looks like what?
Access everywhere. If I'm rich, access to everything.
Let's say, Monday morning as a billionaire, Mark, wake up. What are you doing?
Chill.
I'm pretty sure that's not what you'll do, but let's say chill.
No, I'm be like, yes, that's what I do.
Okay, let's
chill,
say
watch
chill.
movies,
Uh-huh.
hang out with a buddy or two. That soft, extremely do nothing because I like to be lazy. I'm only forced
Buddy
into
or two. Buddy or two is sending me. So you're going to wake up and do nothing.
Truly.
Okay.
But not, be worried about what that nothing is going to cost me like now. Right now, I can't afford to do nothing because I'm going to constantly be in that scare of. But I do not have, like, this Elon Musk thing that I want to, go to Mars, take people to Mars now. I really just want to afford being lazy. So that's what I'm working for.
Sounds like you want freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I understand.
don't really have to work.
You don't have to, but if you want to, you will.
Yes.
But you don't want to feel like you have.
I want to do the fun things, get my camera, shoot things here, then bother with that.
Yeah.
Or not even do it.
Yeah.
End halfway and move
So
on to the next thing.
you do feel like you have to be a billionaire to live that life? I feel like just a millionaire
Millionaire
would be
is so
good.
much, yeah. Just a millionaire is, but again, it's not enough. I want to give so much to the world, to my friends, to my community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give more than I take from the world.
So if you were a millionaire, you would give?
Definitely.
Okay. But what if you can give something that's not money? Like what
I
if you
give.
Yeah.
I give as much as I can.
Like people always think giving back has to be money, but giving back can be anything else. Like literally anything else.
I personally give as much as I can just to fit into that narrative.
Yeah. Okay, but the thing
Because
is
I believe the more you give, yeah. So the world has two people, right? The givers and the takers. If you're taking so much, you're in debt with literally everyone, so you're uncomfortable. But if you're giving so much, you owe so many people, so you're comfortable in their spaces. You're welcome. You're given that. So there's that. You always. If I am always doing you a favor. Somehow, somewhere, when we get to hang out, you'll be happy to see me naturally. But if you have my money, you feel some type of way if I'm in your space. Like,
I mean,
that guy.
not really, but my whole thing was going to be like, you can give other things that are not money,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
Like,
not really
You
money,
can
yeah.
you can add value to people's life.
Do
in
things
way-
for people. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can. Without it being money per se, but also like doing things to get things back.
Do you do things to get things back?
No, like if you're giving, give to give. If you're
Yes, but natural law.
Not-
to every
not-
action,
not-
there's an equal but opposite.
facts, yeah. Me, I don't really think about the aftermath of that, if I'm being honest. I don't really think about, hey, this person won't want to see me. Like, you're going to see me though. What are you going to do about it? I owe you money. I'll pay you when I get the money. I mean, what do you want me to do?
So, what experiences are related to your career would you share with me today?
Experiences, good or bad?
Yeah, good or bad?
Give me an example. I'm not understanding. What experiences?
Producer hitting on you because they're a man.
By the way, I'm thankful I have an aura that doesn't invite those bad vibes. People have hit on me, but they're not the producers or like the people I'm here.
The bosses, what?
Yeah. And also still, I maintain that I have an aura that is not very inviting. And also I've learned how to play dumb. Like as a woman, you have to learn how to set them up for failure. And they'll just give up and move on. I've not been in a position where anything extreme has happened, you know? Yeah, so I'm thankful for that. But I've had people who have had those situations as well. When I was starting out in radio, though, I auditioned at a radio station in Bugolobi, if you know, you know. And I think program something, the guy who did the audition was trying to like get me to like hook up with him so that I could get the job. But I've never really been about that life because it's never that serious. You understand what I mean? Like, nah, like I want the job. But like not to that extent. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm also grateful for that as well. Like in life, we don't understand how blessed we are because there's people who don't have a choice. They would have done it because they really, 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 really need the job. Tomorrow, they're chasing us out of the house because I don't have a job. But I had the option to say no. So I said no. So I'm not judging anyone who says yes. But me, I said no. I was like, nah, like, keep your job. And then, you know, I got a job at Urban TV shortly after that. So thankful for that. No, I I think like I said, my most challenging experience has been comparison. You're always comparing yourself to people around you. Also, people expect very much from you. Like they think, oh, because you're in the media, you should be driving a Range Rover, or you should be driving, or you should be booking trips every other month, type of thing. Societal expectations of you when you work in the media. And to be honest, if you watch TV, that's how other people in the media in other countries live, you know? They're ballers, balling out of control. Let's not even go far. Like in Kenya, there's this chick who released her pay slip saying like she resigned from her job because it wasn't paying her enough. And I saw the money. I was like, bro, what? This is how you guys are rolling? Because I want some of that. So the pay isn't great. Yeah, the pay isn't great. It's enough to just for you to be alive, but not for you to ball, you know?
Where do you see the future of this YouTube thing?
Yeah, like remember I said I'm going to be the biggest creator on the continent. Keep this car clip Bambi. You'll be like, I interviewed her, what? Yeah, so I'm...
But by biggest creator, what do you mean?
As in the biggest. What are you talking about? Have you seen Mr. Beast? Have you seen Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast gives out $1 billion shillings. On
Yeah, so
literally every
what does that
episode.
mean? You think there's only one... do you think there's only one route to success?
Isn't there one Mr. Beast?
I'm saying, do you think there's only one route to success? You're looking at Mr. Beast because that's the one you know. But there are other people who are also balling out of control from social media. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we always limit. That's why even in manifestation, they tell you to stop looking at your 3D reality. Because you always look at limitations everywhere you look. But the possibilities are limitless.
You're a strong believer.
Of what?
God.
I do believe in God, yeah. I'm not religious though, but I believe in God, yeah.
Okay, back to like the power of voice in the change. Glenna, why are you laughing?
She can't laugh?
No, she can't laugh when we are producing the podcast. There's noise in the podcast.
Okay.
The power of your voice. You literally have a loud voice. Like literally.
Okay.
But you're also, giving opinion. Yes. What do you think about that power of your voice in this changing world? Do you feel like it's going to take you places? Like the fact that you voice your opinion, you get people to tell stories, all this.
Yeah, of course. Like that's my entire life plan. You understand? It has to take me to the places I need it to take me to because I don't have a plan B. It's this or nothing. So it better show up. But yeah, like that's what I am definitely going to harness the power of my delusion and my voice and my skills and my experience and everything. I just channel that into what I want to do and where I want to go. And for now, it's content creation. Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay.
So like I said, keep this clip.
I am, definitely.
I'm that confident, yeah.
Why aren't you married yet?
Woo! Because niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit.
What do you think of marriage in current day? Do you really think there is need for it?
Yeah, I think there is. Me
Why?
personally, I want to get married.
Why?
Like,
Why do you want to get married?
Because listen, I've enjoyed singleness, but having a partner is nice and it's
You can
fun.
have a
Like
partner,
having a
not
partner
marriage.
who you love. Let me come.
Okay.
Having a partner who you love, who loves you, who values you, who respects you, all those things, and you respect them back, those things are nice. And when all is said and done, we still live in a society that puts importance on things like marriage in terms of if your partner dies, as a woman, I'm thinking about myself, if he should pass away, they'll just think of me as this person's person. I want them to think of me as this person's wife. For me, it's more important about the death part of it. I want to have been if I love you enough and you're my husband or whatever, I want to have been your wife, And also, for security reasons on both ends.
So, but if I die and we're married, right?
Yeah.
You have the option of moving on,
Of course, but
which you might take.
yeah. But I still want to have been married. Maybe like that's the little bit of societal opinion that's left in me, but I do want it. Why am I not married?
Yes.
Like
Niggas ain't shit.
no. Although they ain't, but Because the time is not yet right, you know? When the time is right, it will happen. I saw someone saying on TikTok, why are you not yet married? Because I'm not yet married. Like, what's the question again? Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
What's your opinion? No, you just told me.
No, I'm saying it is what it is.
But what's your
right?
opinion on marriage? So I feel like, to me, it's a bad social construct.
Unpack that.
It's one, it's a technique for women who are lazy to get away with things because they can just divorce and take 50% of things. Because again, we have grown up in a patriarchal kind of sense where the man, in most cases, the man is working more.
Mark, take 50% of what? What are we taking?
Of my property.
Which is what?
Everything I have, real estate, what, studio, not.
You know the people who, I'm defeated.
But doesn't it happen? Because I mean,
we
have
need to worry about problems like that.
As to deal.
There you go.
How do you know I'm not going to be as to deal next?
You will be as to deal. And if you meet your woman and you marry her,
met the woman a million years before.
That's what I'm saying. If you meet her when you're still on the come up, it's only fair that you give her half. You understand?
True.
If you meet her when you're already loaded, those are the people who should have.
So let me give you a
issues
situation.
with that situation.
Kylie Walker, Manchester City player, he's been paid highly at Man City, but he had to leave. Right? He's grown old enough. He can't play for the team anymore.
Yeah.
So when the wife heard that he was leaving City, she filed for divorce. Right? But then after she heard that from City he's going to some team in Saudi Arabia, where Saudi Arabian teams pay crazy amounts of money, right? They're right now paying Cristiano the most amount of money and whoever else that goes there. So he was going to be paid 4 times whatever he was getting at City. So the wife went and withdrew the divorce papers. But this is someone who has already made their mind that I can't stay with you or for whatever problems that their relationships are facing, but she had to stay for that. So I feel like it's just a construct. Why can't I just coexist with someone I like? And if that expires, I move on.
I feel like you can. Like, we're living in a time where whatever decision you decide to make, you can do that thing. You understand? But like, at the end of the day, men have, and I'm going to say men because I don't like to generalize, but this seems like a general situation. Men have decided to be so married to the idea that women are after their money. Men with money, men without money, and most especially the men who have, like, we earn the same amount of money, but you're calling me a gold digger. What gold am I digging? Like, literally, do you know what gold digging means?
Society, it means
do you know what gold digging means?
If we're earning the same amount of money, I'm still spending 40% of mine.
Gold digging means to take me to a Kasha mall. Gold digging means I should be on a yacht somewhere in Dubai. I've flown in on a private jet. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to this gold digging thing. Don't think just take me for lunch is gold digging. Like, calm down, right? So let's also now take that, what they call it, that bias out of the conversation. Do you like the person? Yes or no? When you see these Man City things or whatever, you don't know what happens in that relationship. And a lot of men, as soon as the man has money, they think it's money related. You understand? Yeah. But you don't know what that woman is enduring or is not enduring in that relationship. All you know is this man has money. He was once here. Now he's here. You know the outside facts that you're seeing. You don't know what's happening on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? So
you're saying it's like a personal experience between couples on what goes on. It
is a personal experience between couples. Sometimes money does. Let me tell you, if money was if money was everything, these very rich men also wouldn't be getting divorced. Some women will live with nothing. They will live with only the clothes on their back because they're trying to get away from it. You with all your millions, they're like, it's okay, stay with your millions. I just want to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all about money. Let's stop centering on money, because there's rich men who don't have, like, they'll go to the bar and they'll have bitches around them because, sorry to call them bitches, but that's how, you know, in music videos, that's what they call them. But let's say they'll have women around them and the women only like them because they've known them for 30 seconds. But if I get to know you on a grand level, like on a larger scale, I may not like you regardless of your money. Your money is, I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? But let's also not forget that there's obviously people out there, men and women, who are struggling to survive. And when they see someone with money, they're like, let me latch onto this one. It just so happens that maybe sometimes it's more women because, like you've said, we're in a patriarchal society, that word. And we're living in times where obviously men have an advantage in the workspace over women by far. Let's not even, that argument, yeah.
Patriarchal society.
So women have always had to like hitch their wagon onto someone. It's just now that we're now getting on our feet and stuff like that. That's why these days women, they will leave you with your money, without your money, irrelevant. Bye. So now let's go back to, do I believe in marriage? If your partner or your person believes in they want to be with you for the rest of their lives, I don't see what the issue would be there. You get what I'm saying?
But is that real? Is that realistic?
I think it is realistic. You can stay with somebody for the rest of your lives. Because guess what? You're not perfect. Whatever shortcomings they have, you also have something. You get what I'm saying? So stop looking for perfection. That's what's killing us these days. We're looking for perfection. I saw this chick doing this for her man on social media, so I must do the same. Or I saw this man doing this for her chick on social media. There is no one who's going to be that person. Everyone has their shortcomings.
How do you feel
He'll be rich, but he doesn't shower. Then what?
How we perceive relationships in social media?
Low-key toxic. Actually, high-key toxic. Yeah, like I think it's toxic. People only show the best side of themselves on social media. I think that's also one of the conflicting things that I don't like about being on there. It's because you're lying. Sometimes you're lying to people about who you are or like what your life looks like, or, you know, you're going on trips or what. But sometimes that's not the reality. And I think that applies in relationships as well. So we're measuring ourselves against something that's not even real, you know, because we're lying to people. I don't want to use this as an example, but because I felt her pain, I feel like I've been where she is. There's a Kenyan content creator. I'm not going to say her name. Just, you know.
I know, actually. Okay.
And, you know, people were talking about like she lives beyond her means. She's always jet setting, acting like she's balling what, but really she doesn't have that much money. And reality of it is sometimes those trips are paid for. Actually, most times. The brand calls you, takes you on a trip. What? They give you everything. Girl, you don't have money. The fuel to get to the destination is all you had. And then you go back home. That's the reality of social media, like socialized influencers. What very many people do not have the money they portray themselves to be having. So it's the same for relationships. People's relationships are not what they're portraying. You get what I'm saying? They only show you the good. They even literally set up the camera. It starts timing down. 1, 2, 3, action. Oh, babe, no, stop. You get what I'm saying? So stop comparing. We need to stop comparing ourselves to. And it's not that everyone's marriage or whatever on social media is a sham.
But it feels like the PR for marriage is...
Because we only hear the bad stories.
No one is telling their good
No,
stories.
the people enjoying marriage
people tell good things on social media. It's
the
just
people
funny.
enjoying their marriages are too busy to post. You get? Like, think about it. When you go on a trip and you're having fun, do you think about your phone? No. You forget about it completely. You're so engrossed in your lover's eyes, you're not posting shit. But they're there. Only the bad news and that bad news travels. Haven't you ever noticed you turn on the news, Iraq is doing what? Ukraine has done this. Like you won't hear that in Uganda today, Mark and Sabrina had it was fire. Like, you won't hear that. You'll hear all the negative shit. So I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is your opinion of marriage negative because of what you've seen online? Do you feel like you've been influenced by what you've seen?
So it's funny because all the marriages that are close to me are beautiful, right? But they're also new, right? So I like my big brother's marriage. I like my parents' marriage. My parents' marriage has been there for a long time. I think I like it. It's like a symbol of what I would want. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some sense of peace. At least experienced it firsthand myself. My brother's dope. I feel like that's exactly what I would want as well. But it's still too young, so I don't know what the future holds. But wish them luck, definitely. My friends and 2024 was everyone I know got married. Everyone I know. So my opinion is still and let's see.
But your experience and their experience are different.
Yes, but what I've seen with other people and what I see in stories and when I go online, it's just mad. I'm like, okay.
You know what's crazy though? Do you hear bad stories about the men or the women?
Both.
Me, I hear mostly about the men because I'm a woman.
Yeah,
I hear the woman's side of the story.
Yeah.
I think the men also hear the men's side of the story. Like, it's crazy. Even when I go on social media, I only hear the woman's side of the story.
Do you know that women cheat more than men?
Who said that? Where are the statistics? Where are they? You give me a figure there that shows. Because women, we don't get caught. Let me just say that. We don't. So the statistics don't exist. And if they're there, they're inaccurate. I'm kidding though.
The statistics are here. Let me get to that.
I feel like... So what's the point there? What point are you making?
Heterosexual relationships. Women are bad people.
Let me tell you, with the exception of a few, I'm an avid believer. I don't know if that's the correct word to use. Every time a woman reacts, it's a response to something that has been done to her. And I'm going to stand by that. 99% of the time, every time a woman does something you feel like is extremely savage, it is in retaliation of something that's been done to her.
Every time a human being.
No.
Take back your statement.
I'm talking about we're talking about in relationships. Me, I don't retaliate per se. Right? Like, who has time for revenge? Like, that's such a waste of my energy if you ask me. But there are people who do. There's women who will be like, no, you've cheated on me. Kawa. I'll even act like I've forgiven you. Like, I just want it to hurt as bad as it has hurt me, because I don't want you to think it's revenge. No. Even years will pass. Because I want it to hurt to the point where you can't understand what just happened.
So you never forgive?
Me personally?
Forgiveness is a myth.
Women.
In new relationships.
Women.
You.
No, I'm not. That's not me.
Okay.
I'm saying there's women who do that.
All right.
But that's not me. Me, I forgive. Like, who has time? I've told you, my life is for living. Like, it's never that serious.
Nothing about you says you're the forgiving type, by the way.
Oh, are you serious?
Nothing.
Let me tell you. There's no one, like, when someone asks, like, anything negative about, like, anyone I've dated, I can't think of anything per se. Like, it takes me a second to think, because I don't think about, like, I feel like holding on to the beef means you're holding on to the person somehow. You get, like, they're still living in your mind rent free. Have I made sense? When you let it go, when you, like, that's how you know you've healed, when you no longer think about that. I don't think about them enough to hate them. Have I made sense?
Yes.
There's no beef on my end. Beef is wasted, a waste of energy. You have to preserve your energy for good vibes.
Children.
Absolutely fucking not.
Why not? You don't want to
Where do I start?
have a mini.
Where do I even start?
Why? What trauma is?
There's no trauma. It's just like, okay, maybe there
There's
is
no
a little
trauma.
bit of trauma. I lost my mom when I was 9. So maybe there's that.
That's my mom as
Oh,
well.
sucks, doesn't it?
Very much so.
So then why the fuck would I want to put someone else through that?
She don't want to die.
How do we know? Did you think my mother knew she was going to pass away? No, she didn't. And unfortunately, it happened. So you can't guarantee. I'm not trying to bring anybody into the world where I can't guarantee anything. Like, even if I get, what if I get rich?
But
What if
you
I don't
don't
get rich?
want to give birth to life. You hate life that much.
Oh my God. You've asked it like a pure misogynist. What if I couldn't be able to give life? Then would would the question still be the same? What if I wasn't able to? Then what?
Then life would have been unfair to you.
Then let's go with that narrative, I guess. You know?
But okay. Minus just that. The fact that you didn't have a mom. Why wouldn't you want to have children? You feel like
I love kids.
life is harsh.
Life is also, first of all, very complicated. It's so hard to protect children. Like, no matter how good your intentions are, you can't protect them from the world that you've brought them into. But then on top of that, the responsibility, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to get up and go wherever in the world I want to go and not have to think about nannies and has my baby eaten? At what time are you going to bed? Like, I am okay just being child free. It's a decision I made in my 20s. I'm now in my 30s, and people always used to tell me, you change your mind. Here I am, mid-30s, never changing my mind.
Never changing your mind.
I'm never going to change it. And I even
That's
used to tell these
cute.
people, you wait until I'm 40, then you'll understand that I meant it. I meant it, and I mean it. I don't want. And I also wonder, like, why is it shocking? Why is it
To me, it's
shocking?
not shocking. It's
Good. Do you want more kids?
no. I'm not having more kids
There you go. Why?
because I'm not married to the mother of my child.
So when you do find a wife,
I'm not
and
getting married.
oh, you're not getting married.
Yeah. I'm just going to have a partner, I think. Because getting married to me will mean...
What
having
if
a
you meet somebody who loves you and you love them,
family. Let me meet them first.
and they want to get married?
Then I'll change. Well,
Like,
you
you're flexible, eh?
Yeah, we
Okay.
always change our minds with
Yeah,
new
yeah,
information and new decisions. But yeah, unless I'm really a billionaire, then. But I don't think so. It's not something I want.
What
to do.
does money have to do with anything? You're the people
Money is the most
who
important
limit
thing in life.
yourself. Yeah, like, okay, but like, what does it have to do with this conversation per se?
You need money to raise children. A lot of it. to give them the best life
I
you
mean,
can.
to be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I also be like, if I can't guarantee that my child is going to a British boarding school,
Okay, if
and
I was a billionaire
flying
today
to
and I give you
Monaco
an
for
offer
the
to have
F1,
children with you, wouldn't you give me children? If I was a
absolutely.
billionaire and I'm giving you
Listen,
half,
my decision is
It's not about money.
It's not about money. It's not about people. It's about
you.
me. I don't want. I don't have it.
What informs that decision? I really want
I think
to pick your brain on this.
I think you just decide that you don't want to do it and you don't do it. Do you?
Haven't you felt like maybe a child?
No. I think if
Do you know that having sex is for procreation, not for pleasure?
I mean, okay.
Aren't you going to be judged on Judgment Day? By God?
I mean, that's the card you pulled out.
That's it.
Bro, then we're all going to hell. No, but yeah, like, have you not met girls who don't want children?
Well, you'd speak to them to assessment and they'd be like, maybe, I don't know what the future holds. But then you really seem
First,
like someone
you
who
don't
has
want
made up
another
their mind.
child.
No,
What if you meet a woman who wants another child?
I don't know. So
Me, I feel
it's
like
it's very personal for me, but I really hated being raised by a stepmom. So I don't want that at all.
you really hated being raised.
By a stepmom. Oh. Yeah. And the worst part to it,
What was
the experience was okay. Like she did all the best
she wasn't-
could,
yeah.
but she just wasn't my mom.
okay?
So then the worst part
If
was
if she wasn't, but then what was the issue? Like, what was the problem?
so it always felt like my mom would have done better. You get? Yeah. I always felt like that.
Did she have children? Do you have siblings who are? Did she treat you differently from? No,
And that's the worst part. So it's just a human being.
it's just okay, and it's only fair because like when
Like no blame to her.
yeah,
It's I made up my mind about that. I was like, you know what? This is it. If I'm not getting married to the person, no. Okay. Two people betrayed my thinking on it so much. So I have a cousin sister. She became a stepmom to a child.
Okay.
Then I saw her mistreat this child. And yet I grew up with her and we used to talk about this. And mistreat, people think mistreat is pouring hot water on the child and what. No. It can be emotional mistreatment, So I have observed it, how she would want better privileges for her own children. And then the children she found with a man. And then it just disgusts me about the whole switch of having
Like-
some other person raise some other person's child. I just don't like it. They'd rather
sucks. Your
be
cousin
orphans.
sucks.
Yeah, definitely. They suck. Like, I never understand it. Up to today, I'm like, what? Why did you turn out to be this person? You don't even have a point to prove. The guy is very wealthy. You can, share these resources among us. It's so bad that this is actually my cousin whose side I didn't take. Like, I felt bad for the kids whose life we just joined.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how bad it got. Yeah. So, yeah. But it's very shocking, though, that you don't want a mini you.
I don't think it's shocking. I think it's like this is where the world is going. Very many women are asking themselves why. We were raised to want children, but like, why do you want children? It's supposed to
why
give you
don't you- what
fulfillment,
is it-
but
yeah.
like, why? What if I get fulfillment from other places? Like, why are you saying? I saw this guy, one of those. He's like a lawyer. He's like a divorce lawyer, and he's like, I don't think the biggest accomplishment in your life should be that you're having children or that you had children. Then what? Your children's biggest accomplishment will be that they had children and their children. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's silly. Like, having children is great, but it's not your biggest accomplishment. You can do other great things in life,
You really like to be free. It's very interesting.
You have no idea, by the way. You have no idea. Okay, like
I can actually really tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
From how you say you want to shoot things all at the same day.
Yeah.
So you like to get done with burdens and just be in some free world.
You see,
And
that's
then
that's
back-
wealth. Like when many people say that they want money so that they can do whatever they want. I feel like me, I've almost attained that because I'm able to work smart, not hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can record in bulk, why should I shoot every week? Honestly speaking, I'm like wasting time and resources. Which time and resources I could put in other things and develop other things in my life. You know what I mean? So freedom. When we say we want money, you can be rich, nga. You're just the wealth is not monetary, but it's with freedom, with luxuries, with time. With say it again.
Do you have siblings?
Yes, I do. I'm the last. I'm a baby.
Clearly.
Yeah. Work smart, not hard. No, but for real, like, I think, like in general in life, I think there was a specific structure we're given and we're told follow this. But
Because
I like that our generation
it proved successful.
at that time. Are we in the same time now? We're not. Even this work from office business, like during lockdown, we saw that you can work from home. Why are we now insisting? Because I think there's a system in place. I'm now going to go into deep things, but like there's a system in place that just wants to restrict us in a specific way. But if you think about it, there's so many jobs you can do from home. Why do you have to go to the office? If you can shoot in bulk, why do you have to shoot every day? You know what I mean? So yeah, freedom, like wealth is freedom, in my opinion. And freedom can be attained. It's like right at your fingertips. If you think really hard, you can get it. But
what do you
there's people
understand
who are
by
like
freedom to you? What's freedom to you?
freedom to
Because freedom is not entirely free.
to do your thing.
If you're just doing your thing, you are most likely going to face terrible consequences, you know, for just doing your thing with, you know, no rules.
What is the alternative? I do them how?
Follow some guided process that has proved to work for others. Yeah.
Is that what you're doing with your life?
No, I
Uh-huh.
have the luxury to experiment.
You get me? I feel like even you just having this, like this setup and everything, like you have freedom.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, wealth is not just money. Wealth is things like that. Being able to wake up and create and do things that give you, like fuel, put like a fire in your chest, like I'm happy, I'm excited about this. You talk about it, your face lights up. That's wealth. Wealth is not always money. And when eventually you do get the money, you'll miss these days. You'll miss the come up. You'll be like, fuck, I know shit was tight then. Like I would struggle to get transport money, but at least I had this, and this. You know what I mean? You just
Now,
don't.
you have traveled a lot. What have you seen in the world that you'd want people to know? What have you seen elsewhere? It's different in different cultures.
That like however much you think you've seen Ebola, you've not seen you've not seen the Ebola. Like you've seen Ebola, yes, in your economy, but you've not seen Ebola in other people's economies. You guys, people are rich, and I like that. I think it's good to experience.
So you believe that money is it?
No,
I mean, you can only ball like that if you have a lot.
I mean, I believe. Am I going to sit here and say I don't want money? Of course I want money. Like even, may you please, God, send me all the money that I require to live my life. But I'm saying in terms of like, usually we limit ourselves in our dreams and aspirations. Like they say, if you had all the money in the world right now, what would you do? I would buy a house, let's say, in Kololo or Naguru, when you've not seen how people in LA are living. And I'm not saying everyone's going to live in LA, but it just shifts your perspective. Like, this is not the ceiling. You know, the ceiling is these ends. There's also another level. And even the people in LA, also then they maybe go to Monaco sometimes and they're like, LA is nothing. I don't know though. I've never been to either one of those places. I'm just saying. Like whatever the ceiling whatever you think the ceiling is, usually changes. And sometimes it may not even be monetary. It may be peace of mind. You go to an island, you see people just waking up and smoking a doobie and you know, shirtless on the beach. That's their version of something. That could also trigger something in your head. I don't know if I've made enough sense, but yeah, like traveling just opens your mind up to different perspectives that people, like different realities people are in. As we're here in our reality, potholes, what? I went to Nairobi, not one pothole. It's like, oh my God.
What part of Nairobi?
These people are living good. Where? The parts that I was in didn't have potholes.
Rwanda, yes. Nairobi, they're good. That city is clean, but they do have potholes.
Where?
It's everywhere.
Anyway, let me just say, I didn't reach in those places.
Yeah, I
but
spent so much time in Nairobi to know that there are potholes.
In Kampala,
It's too much.
CBD, there was a time I was going. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Mad crazy.
It was like 3 a.m. in the morning, and we're rushing because we're like in a hurry. there's a pothole on Kampala Road. I think it's as big as this table. And deep. You know that one that can flatten your tire? Deep like a in the middle of Kampala Road. There's traffic on that road every day. Me, I used to think it's just us like here in Tinda, Naguru, whatever. But in Nairobi, I didn't see them.
Okay, yeah, they're not in the CBD, no, but yeah, it's Nairobi and Kampala have a slight difference.
But just know, like when you drive, when I've never driven in another country, but like when you are in a car in a country with no potholes, it feels nice. It does feel nice.
Where do you live? Here.
Chiwatuli.
Chiwatuli has potholes.
Bro, my car makes
no
sounds
surviving.
like every time I move, my car is making like those sounds. But I'm like, you will get dealt with when you get dealt with. Because guess what? As soon as I fix that chiki, the front one will start. Then this one will start. Then, I decided that I fix my car once a year. Unless
I'm waiting
someone
for
bashes
tips of
me or
how we
something.
navigate potholes on mileage. I mean, like, yeah, that's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, okay, that's definitely coming. This is what you need to do. Slow down. And then you press until like just like that tip of your tire is in the pothole.
Well, there are so
and
many.
then accelerate.
They're making the Charlie Wajala Chira Road,
Yeah.
so at least.
Where do you
I have
stay?
some
You stay around. You
Chira.
stay this
Yeah,
Chira.
I stay in Chira.
But Chira, like it's marron, but it's flat, right?
But still.
But when
the
it
dust has
rains,
been
though,
crazy. Yeah.
ooh.
Okay, they're making the road, so it feels like the promise is good. So I can move to like studio drive. I've literally packed my best because the potholes were too much.
Would you do therapy?
I hate therapy.
You hate therapy?
I've done therapy. I've gone to see a therapist. I love therapists. My former relationship with someone, they felt like we needed to see therapy if we were to continue. But I see it in the movies. It works for people, but man,
Why don't you like it?
I don't feel like talking to someone about my problems creates a solution for those problems. They're going to give me textbook information I can search and find out on myself. Like I can be vulnerable on you and share with you a story here on the podcast, but I just can't sit in front of you as a therapist and tell you I'm dealing with this, and it's a problem. I know. I think I don't know, but yeah.
I think therapy has. I think
Helped you?
movies gave therapy bad PR because therapy is not supposed to fix your problems. It's not there. I don't believe that's what it's for.
Yeah.
I think many people just need like a soundboard. And also like for me, the way it's helped me was shifting my perspective. So many
How?
times we be going through things and we think like, let's say now at my age, single, I should maybe be insecure about that. Right now I'm not, right? So you feel sometimes you can feel like alone and you feel stressed out, like, God, why me, blah blah blah. And then I think social media has helped us in a way that it shows that you're not alone. But when you speak to a therapist,
that
they
thing
can
where you're
shift.
going through something and
Yeah,
you
they
just find a tweet
they just
about
shift your perspective. Like like the things that my therapist has helped me with, and she has helped me understand, I really value and appreciate, because it's not that she solved my problem, right? It's that she shifted my perspective in a way that I looked at my problem differently. You know what I mean? So me, I also went to a therapist for a relationship. Like I had a relationship situation that was stressing me out, and like the insight she gave me, right, it changed my perspective. So yeah, I think therapy is dope.
What were you going for therapy? You were dealing with something?
Yeah, like a relationship, you know. But I went alone. I wanted to go alone. I think I was going through a breakup. Yeah, that was it. I was going through a breakup.
So you
And
were
she
hurt.
told me something. Yeah, I was hurt. And the truth is, I think,
So you know how to love.
of course, I know how to love. As opposed to, right?
Just, living life. You. So in this conversation.
I just need someone to live life with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They also need to come
So
with
how
good
are you going to
vibes.
go about? Where are you going to find a man who doesn't want children?
Please, my ex didn't want children.
That's why they're ex.
No. He still didn't want children. We broke up for other things.
He still doesn't have children up to now.
No. We both don't have, and we both won't get. I have faith in him as well. We shall
You know,
stand
man,
in union.
even at 70, right? I'm still very functional.
Irrelevant. I don't think that he will have children, because I think we share, like, our perspective is the same on why we don't want them. It's just like, why? Like, ask
Wouldn't
yourself,
don't you
why?
think you'd get tired of yourselves in the sofas on Sunday?
As opposed to, like,
A
and even when they're
baby,
children,
trying to
there.
help them with your homework. They are crying about this. You have to solve some problems you know of.
Bambi, listen to the things that men think parenting is.
But isn't that parenting?
Okay, parenting is you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. Whenever that child is awake, you're awake.
But that is
Then
only
you're going to
until
start
that child
thinking,
is
you're going to start thinking about
eight, five,
no.
6
You're going to start thinking
years.
about what are they going to have for breakfast. Then when they have breakfast, you're going to start thinking what co-curricular activity can they do? Are we taking them for swimming? Are we taking them for lunch? We have to do something for the children. Then when they get back, you have to think about tomorrow, school
You're
uniform,
very selfish
school
person.
one. It's okay.
You just want to be in your life.
I can be selfish. I don't really care. You know, like that's okay because being a parent, you have to want to be a parent. You get what I'm saying? Don't be a parent because people have told you be a parent. No, want to be a parent. I feel like the only people who deserve children are people who want to be a parent. Don't ever like let anyone talk you. If you have you're second guessing, you're not sure. The answer is no. When you say maybe, if the answer is maybe, then the answer is no, because having a child. That's why women go through postpartum depression. Like your life changes so drastically,
That's so true.
and if you haven't,
Anyway, yeah, children affect women
a lot
differently
more
than-
than they affect men. Like when I was sick growing up as a child, I love my dad to death. My dad raised us when my mom passed away. He single dad, by the way. Did everything, took us to school fees, what. Never stopped until we were all done with university. That's my dad. But when I was sick, when I was younger, my mom is the one I would cling to. Like, to be fair, yeah, growing up, like, my mom was my everything. You understand? Beginning and end. So, parenting as a man and parenting as a woman are very different, in my opinion. And if a woman says she doesn't have kids, just understand her and respect it. And when a man says they don't want to have kids, they have their reasons as well. But women, I feel like more so, I guess because I'm saying that because I'm a woman as well, you know? So yeah, like, I think that's it. But we're still talking about therapy. Mm-hmm. And I was telling you that it's not meant to fix you or fix your problems. It's just meant to shift your perspective on what felt like a rather hopeless situation. Sometimes that's what it does.
So how much of I feel like therapy is just self-care. Someone going to read for you a self-care book, and I'd rather do that myself.
I mean, you can do that yourself if you feel like it will help. But
So
sometimes
for all the times, even when I was dealing with breakup, I remember Mark Manson's "Everything Is Fact" changed my life. Eventually, then I started journaling about my feelings. But yeah, the book is essentially about how everything is fact. Nothing is as good or as bad as it seems. Yeah, so to me, just reading is enough, or listening to some audio stuff. And I also don't like to consume a lot of self-care. I feel like it puts me into the Christian thinking of handling life, because the Bible is essentially the biggest self-care book. It's telling you about if you do these things, you'll get these consequences. If you do these ones, people who did this were punished like this. But to survive, you have to do this and this and this and this way. And to me, it's very boring to consume all that. I'm a big risk taker. Like, extremely big risk taker. Like, I live in the present situation. And it's a good and bad thing at the same time.
I think mostly good. Yeah.
No,
Fortune favors the
I have
bold.
friends who are very, very pessimistic, and they're very, very careful with everything they do. I have this friend of mine, Martin, not this one here. This guy, head of content and Jumia. He's very, 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 very pessimistic and careful that even when he's driving out of his gate, he'll tell you, man, but supposing we get an accident. But he has been doing this for 4 years. Like, he's always careful. Man, togenda. So he'll go out on purpose. He cannot just go on a random road trip, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will either be he's going to bury someone is driving him, but he's that, man, we're talking that, partying, all those things. We're talking about chupa and my eye gets out. But then, he's a big achiever. Meanwhile, with such a careful life. But I feel like I can't live like that.
I can't live like that.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, you know what? That's why I said, like, when we're talking about earlier, like, there's not one formula to success. There's not one size fits all. If it works for him, good. Because maybe you've just mentioned one side. I'm sure there's very many other qualities about him that have given him the success he has.
True.
But also
He's a big hard worker.
Yeah, like, I cannot live in fear. That's why I was saying, me, those things of evil
I also really
I cannot live in fear.
I find fear as a very weak emotion. I despise
You
it.
get,
Yeah.
like, I feel like as soon as I'm scared of something, that thing controls me. And I can't live like that.
Do you feel like you have some sense of control for your emotions?
No? Maybe? No?
That's
Yeah.
such an accurate answer, but
No.
I expected you to say yes.
Nah. No, by the way, no.
Yeah. I think we all don't.
Yeah,
How
no.
we feel, what's your life mantra?
Ooh. If someone else can have it, I think my cousin said this to me sometime, like, it's not my life mantra, but it's one of, like, if someone else can achieve it, if someone else can do it, why can't I? So many times I see people saying, like, we won't all be billionaires. But then I'm like, so you've decided you're the one who's not going to be.
You're
Like,
going to
out
be.
of all the people who are going to be, you've decided it's you who's not going to be. So I'm like, if someone else can do it, someone else can achieve it, I can achieve it as well. As long as, that's how I say, like, as long as you can see it, it's possible. Even if you're seeing it in your head, even if you're not seeing it in reality, you're seeing it in your head, it's possible. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a reason why it entered your head. There's a reason the vision is there. So, yeah.
How much of yourself do you like? How much of the fact that you like yourself contributed to you wanting to be behind a camera most of the time?
I've just started liking myself recently. I never used to like myself. Bro, self-love is just a recent thing. It's a thing of now. I used to judge myself so harshly. I was so mean to myself. Me and the voice in my head were not friends. It was self-loathing all through, like, most of
How
my 20s.
did you overcome that?
I think I had someone saying, like, if you talk to your friend, or if you think of someone you love the most, and I think at the time it was like my nephew, it's called Mason, and they're like, somebody you love so much,
Yeah.
and then talk to them the way you talk to yourself in your head. And I was like, yo, that's not nice, you know? So, like, think of yourself as a baby. Think of yourself as, like, when you were a baby, like when you were like 10 years old and you're talking to yourself the way you're talking to yourself. Would you like that? Like, do you think that would be appropriate? Just being mean to yourself? No. So I just realized, like, I'm in this thing, like, it's me versus me. The only person you can guarantee has your back in this world is you. So you have to you become friends with yourself. So it's baby steps. And then I got to where I am now. So it's actually interesting that I've survived this long, because I really did not like myself. Like, yeah, no, for real, I did not like myself at all.
Why was that? Why do you think you didn't like yourself?
I think external things,
Yeah.
things people said about me, or things I had about myself, or things I believed about myself. You know, like parenting, a big part of parenting is also like how you talk to your children and stuff like that. If you're always like speaking down on your kids, they're probably going to think something's wrong with them. And I'm not saying that that's a situation that always happened, but I'm a very sensitive person. So if you raise your voice at me once, I'm annoyed. You understand? Like, and then I start thinking of, like, why are you in this situation? Yeah, like, why am I in this situation? Why are you raising your voice at me? Why are you treating me this way? Like, I would just go internally. I felt like I wasn't worthy. I felt like I wasn't lovable, you know? So I was so mean to myself. Like, I wasn't nice to myself. And then somebody said, like, if you could think of someone you love and then talk to them the way you talk to yourself in your head, is that okay? I was like, no. And they're like, the only person you have in your life is you. Like, guaranteed. You have your family and friends, but guaranteed, it's you versus you for life until the death. So you better start liking yourself. So I had to, you know, slowly by slowly, practices, YouTube, meditation.
And get by like that.
And that's how I got by.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Would you say you love yourself?
Yeah, so much.
Have you always been that way?
Yeah. So, and I've always been told that.
It's a privilege, you know?
Yeah.
It's a privilege to love yourself. It is, because not everybody does.
So, and I feel like at some point I loved myself so much I forgot to work on myself. That I felt like, okay, I am it. Also, my last name is just that name that makes you love yourself. Like, my name is Wamala, and it has always made me feel like I've accomplished stuff, right? At some point, I was a last born anyway, and things will just come in as they come in. So all that. Yeah, but I've always loved myself. I never feel bad about myself. Apart from, I think, in primary school where being dark-skinned was like a crime. So, but then when we grew up, then being dark skinned was the preference.
It's a flex now, isn't it? Yeah.
So that the switch between that, yeah. But in primary school, maybe there was like big insecurity. It was like, man, I'm dark.
No, but by the way, they really messed with our heads.
Yeah, they really.
Because me,
messed
the
with our
longest time,
heads.
I used to think I liked like skinned guys. Then I grew up and realized, no,
Truly.
I'm actually more attracted to dark skinned guys than I am to like light skin. Does nothing for me nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So me growing up, that change was, I think, the last blow. And okay, there's nothing about me that wouldn't put me in a position to just win anything I would want. But I also feel like it's such a big delusion that I live like that. I am very optimistic to a point that it scares me. Like, how am I this person? I can have some small money today and I'll be like, let me just spend it all tomorrow. If I got this money tomorrow,
I think like me and you are the same person.
Tomorrow.
At this point. Like, no, because like live.
how did I get this? So yeah,
Be delusional.
but
There's
but anyway, I feel like it's better to live through life that way.
like okay, like when all is said and done, right?
Yeah.
When all is said and done, right? When you look back on me, I've lived like sometimes like exactly what you're saying, or like I get some money and then but I've had a good time spending that money, haven't I?
So you don't regret it.
Tomorrow is going to come and I'm not going to die. The next day is going. I will still not like, you get what I'm saying. Like, unless it's a life or death situation, like live your life. So I've been in situations where I've done that, exactly what you're saying. And I look back and like there's a day there when you want something and you regret it, be like, man, I wasted that money. But in the grand scheme of things, like in the future, let's say like a year from now, you'll be happy you did that thing.
Yeah.
So do that thing.
So what world stories interest you the most
World?
currently? Yeah, say Donald Trump and the US.
No, for me, like that CEO who got killed and then the meeting went on without him. You see what I tell you? Like live for you. So he was going for a meeting. On his way, he got assassinating. And the meeting he was going to did not stop. Can you imagine? And you're here killing yourself for who and for what?
That is tragic.
It is. It's sad, but that's the reality we live in. You know, like if, God forbid, you die today, or I die today,
What do you think about death? Okay,
my
first
podcast
finish.
would end, yes, but like everything else in life would continue going on like nothing happened.
Yeah, but the good thing is, would a million years from today will still go back to
Yeah,
you.
which is great. That's what I'm saying. Like, but
You're
like,
going to live in
yeah,
us.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to find a way to live life on your terms, whatever that means to you. Like, it looks different for different people, but think about yourself. Don't kill yourself for other people. Yeah. You're saying, what?
What do you think about death?
Inevitable. Like, we're all gonna die. I think.
Aren't you scared?
No. Why would I be scared of something that's inevitably going to happen? Like, with now, like, how do you live your life scared of something that is 100? Like, whatever
Because
you
it's
do,
death.
100% is going to happen.
I mean, you are not going to have this conversation anymore. What?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I saw danger coming at me that I was going to possibly
You'd be scared,
die,
but-
I would be scared. But I just try not to think of it as a bad thing. The other day, a friend of mine was in the podcast and he was talking about, like, I asked him if he had a superpower, what would it be? And he said, I'd bring back the dead. And I'm like, how do you know they're not happy where they are? We don't know what happens after this. What if it's fun? What if it's better than this? You know what I mean? Like, what if they are living their best lives and you bring them back and you're like, oh, why did you bring me back? Why did you bring me back to this shithole? You know what I mean?
Did you watch originals?
No?
The vampires, okay. Yeah, there's actually someone like that. So,
Yeah.
You could wake up vampires, but this one vampire asked this person,
Like, don't wake
why
me
in
up.
the world did you wake me up to come back and suffer with all these things?
Like, how do you know what's there is not better than what's here? So you're scared, but you're not even sure what you're scared of. You should be scared maybe of the process, that you die like an easy death, you know, but death itself, why should it scare you? It scares you?
Yes, a lot. I feel like I've not accomplished enough though. So in terms of like purpose, there's that, the things.
So I saw this guy, and he said, like, like 4 or 5 generations from now, who you are, won't be remembered. No one will care. And that was a harsh reality, but it's reality. Think about your grandparents, right? Aside from like you, like your kids, right? Your kids. What do they know about your grandparents?
They'll know that he had land because they'll probably also inherit some bit of it. They'll always be told.
Your child is going to know about your dad's dad.
Land.
Not even your dad's dad, but his land.
He'll know about it. It will be there.
Bro.
Like, make sure.
That's so sad though.
Because it's like...
That's so sad. Like no one even gives a shit, but you just want to leave something. Like something to...
Something to be remembered. Then. How do you want to be remembered? That you lived life?
I don't mind not being remembered. I'll be dead. Like we put so much attachment to things and like I don't think are important. Like I won't be alive.
That makes sense though. Like
so then
people shouldn't mind how they are remembered because they are dead.
Yes. Worry about the quality of life you are living right now. You know what I mean? Like I understand the need for legacy. I'm not gonna lie, I used to understand, but now I just don't, because I'm like, I think about like my dad's dad. I don't even know his name. There's land there in Bushenyi, but what's that got to do with me? Like I'm creating a life of my own right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm paving my own way. And
so how are you handling, by the way, let me get back to the children's thing. How are you handling the society pressure?
There's no more pressure.
Those closest to
There's
you, like
no more pressure these
family.
days. Like people moved on, I think. People still pressure you?
No, me, they don't.
Even me, they don't. No one pressures me.
You're a girl, it's different.
No one has pressured
pressure
me so
girls a
far.
lot.
I think people moved on, if I'm being honest. I'm pleasantly surprised. No one has asked me, not one auntie.
So for you, you're just on rich
Not one
auntie
cousin.
vibes.
Exactly. Please, you've touched on it exactly. I want to make money and take my nieces and nephews around the world, wherever they want to see. I want them to just know when Auntie Breeze is coming, life is good. That's me. That's who I'm going to be.
How should you conclude this? Do you have any more questions? Mine are done, but I am willing to sit here.
No, but I think haven't we just for like 2 hours?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 2 hours net.
I don't
but
like
you can
it.
ask. Do not worry about length.
Yeah.
I actually prefer my conversations to be very long.
Okay, let me think. When the interviewer becomes the interviewed. Do you feel like a lot of pressure is from you, or a lot of pressure is from outside? Like the pressure that you feel, because I get the sense that
it's from me.
Okay.
My being lazy.
Why do you think you're lazy?
Because I've not accomplished the things.
Why do you think that you've not accomplished the things because you're lazy? Do you think that everyone...
So, look, I know that there are things in my control. Yeah? And I greatly know that there are very many things out of my control. But I know that even the things in my control, I have look, I have a whole studio. I have cameras up to Black Magics and what. But I am not creating top movies. I am not finding the biggest scriptwriters. I am not held back by anything.
Why are you not doing those things?
Because again, I'm lazy. That's the thing. I have not yet put my focus to something to like accomplish something great, and I hate it. But I know for a fact that there are people who have done these things.
Yeah.
You know, there's a kid who I taught how to use a computer from here. Okay, the studio was not here, but from my studio. But right now, they're really such a great creator. Owena Moses. They're really such a great creator.
But do you think it's laziness? You think
to me, it's laziness.
Okay.
Really. Yeah. To me, okay, that's the thing I tell myself, to only blame myself. So growing up, I used to blame everyone else for my issues apart from myself. But then I learned that that wasn't helping.
Last born things, I get
Yeah.
it. No, but the thing is, I think so many times when we label something a negative thing, we start focusing so much on that negative thing, like I'm being lazy, I don't want to be lazy, I don't want to be lazy, as opposed to labeling it something more empowering. Like maybe this is your process. Me, every time like I take time off, I'm like, this is my process. I can't even take like a month off. Like right now, I've not released, I don't know when this is going to come out, but I've not released any podcast or mileage like in like a month. It's my process. I'm not being lazy. I'm literally
Following.
aligning everything that needs to be aligned. Mentally, I may not be doing anything physically. I'm home watching bowlers or whatever, and watching YouTube once in a while to see what I need. But I don't think it's laziness. I think just having this is dope. Like this is an accomplishment. This is a very big achievement. I don't think you should look down on it. You see, as human beings, every time
it's not even about looking down on it. It's where I want to be is not where I am, right?
But I feel like then when you get there, then what's the point of having lived life?
Yeah.
Have I met?
So I'm not like content.
Let me see.
You're talking about contentment, right?
Like
we should learn to,
eventually you get there. That thing that place that you want to get to, eventually you do get there. Then what? Have you ever thought about that? What happens when you do everything that you said you're going to do and accomplish everything you said you're going to accomplish? Have you ever thought about what happens then? What happens then? That's why people get successful and then kill themselves. And then people are like, wagwan. Because that thing that you think you're chasing is not necessarily the thing you think you're chasing. You're probably chasing like a feeling.
So how do you live your life?
I just live my life knowing that what's meant to happen is going to happen. And me, I know I'm meant for greatness.
And you stick to that.
I stick to that because there's so much shit that's in our control.
So if by virtue
so
you know you're meant for greatness, but then you know that so many other people who have failed believed like you, how do you go about that?
That's none of my business.
You only worry about yourself.
That's their story. Their story is not your story. You get? We always, why are you hitching your wagon on someone else's story?
Okay.
Are they you?
Yeah, so that answers your question. Really, the pressure I feel is just
other people have failed.
Some other people I look up to have failed. Also, me, I work in. I understand the world is not a vacuum, so there is also, even if it's life is probability.
Do you think you're lucky? Do you think you're a lucky person?
Yes.
Do you think things just somehow miraculously work out for you sometimes?
Miraculously. Yes.
Then why would you now put yourself in the same bracket as someone who is not successful? And when you're saying that person maybe failed, maybe that was their season of failing, but then they're going to be successful again.
I used to like math a lot in school. I used to actually do well with it. So I understand probabilities,
Have you never seen anyone who has lost everything and gained everything back? Reach up, down, up?
Yeah, so there are two things, right? There's a book I like. It's called, I think, The Psychology of Money.
Yeah.
So it talks about success stories. Okay, it's trying to teach people money management, but then it gives scenarios of not me and you can go through the same path. So it just compares Bill Gates. Bill Gates and one of his best friends, some guy called Eton, I think. They went to the same school, had the same passion for computers, blah, 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 but only Bill Gates turned out to be a Bill Gates, right? The other guy, some things were out of his control, but he was actually more intelligent, He taught Bill Gates most of the stuff. He was more tech savvy and all these things. So I know for a fact that the things beyond my control that I live to lack. That's why I know that the luck plays such a very important role in this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen content on YouTube that is bogus, but it's viral. And I'm like, I actually really invest in a lot to produce just one episode. I don't know, I don't get 10K views or what. Sometimes I think about it. But then I don't remove the fact that they're lucky. Maybe they're posted in a good time. Maybe they're posted when people are actually really interested and no one is moving on. Or maybe, something gives. So there is that. But I also know you can do everything right and fail. And this I have learned from my dad. So I believe he's the most hardworking guy I know. But he's not a wealthy man, right? He's just humble and stable enough to take care of his 8 children. And that's that.
8?
Yeah, we're 8.
We shall circle back. 8? Yeah.
We're 8 children. So there's that. But yeah, so to me, I believe he's outrightly someone I look up to in terms of character, in terms of living, in terms of what, but he's not a wealthy man. And that just fucks with my mind a lot. Like, you can actually do the right thing.
Do you think that maybe that contributes to your laziness?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah, I told you, I don't think it's being lazy. I think it's something else. Because someone who's lazy is not gonna have this. But no, I get where you're coming from, and there's so many things that like in our environment that can make us feel like something is like out of reach, out of our control and everything. I think the only thing you have control over is your attitude and like your mind. That's why I say you have to speak greatness in your life. You have to believe that you're going to be great for you to be great. I don't know anyone who didn't know they were going to be great who is great. In my opinion, if you hear Elon Musk speaking, he knew it was going to happen somehow. But and he's actually a very clever person. So I guess for him, he knew. But you will see like movie stars, TV stars. Those are very competitive markets that not even the person who is good gets the role. It's the person who, in my opinion, is lucky who gets the role. So the question I asked you earlier of like, when people are saying not everyone will be a billionaire, why are you the one who has decided it's you?
Not
And
to be.
like, why you're the only person who can tell your story. The person who's going to tell the story is you and your brain. That's why self-love is preached like a problem these days, because you have to know, like you have to believe it. Let me give an example. Before lockdown, TikTok existed. Apparently it was created in 2016, 2017. I didn't know that.
Sure.
It became big in 2020. Now, between 2016 and I don't know if it was big in other countries, but I want to believe that the creator of TikTok was having his doubts like, bro, what is this shit? But aside from the owner of TikTok, let's look at the creators who have become millionaires from TikTok.
Yeah.
If you had told someone in 2012, let's not
do
even go to the 90s. Let's talk about 20. Like, let's say 2019, before COVID. If you had told someone in 2019 that this thing is going to come, it's going to put the whole world at a standstill, and only a few people who have their phones will create and will blow up and will start making a lot of money off of that, would they have believed you? Would you even have believed that? No one would have believed that. But yet it happened. You have to start assuming that shit is going to work out for your own good. Whether it worked for someone else, like tunnel vision, think about me, success. It worked for that person, it didn't work for us, but irrelevant. It's about you and your story. Like you're the only one who's writing that story. And also, like, do you believe that the mind plays a role in your success? Like in terms of energetically speaking, those things of manifestation, blah, blah, blah. Do you believe that stuff?
Manifestation, no.
Okay.
I said to myself I'd be married by 30. And I am not. So no.
Let me tell you that. You see my wallpaper. This is my vision board for 2025. I'm not gonna see my wet dreams. Be my wet dreams. But what I've learned about manifestation is things don't always happen at the time that you want them to happen. Like don't give it a deadline. It's not like a genie of like, I want a wife, give me a wife. It's not like, that's not how it works. It happens in divine timing. When the time is right, everything like
aligns.
It's the craziest thing. Like I
So we shouldn't even do the things we have to do.
No, that's silly. Inspired action. You have to do you have to do things. You have to live your life. But if you
put in the work.
Yeah. Like, how can I say I want to be the biggest content creator in Africa without creating content? Am I being silly? You know what I mean? Like, how can you say you want a wife?
And I'm not putting in that.
And you're not doing nothing about, like, what do you want? The universe is also looking at you like, bro, how do you want me to help you? Like, as in, you wanted her to come here to Nalia and knock on the gate and say, I'm lost. And then you give her directions. And then the love story starts. Like, how did you want it to happen?
I don't know really, but yeah.
No, but
so
like
manifestation to me,
you don't give it a deadline.
I just see it through.
Set the intention and leave it and like let it work itself out. It will come at the right time. I remember I was telling a friend of mine a story about, first of all, everything in my life, everything always worked out in the end. But I remember I used to work at Urban TV, and they changed management, and I was let go of. And a month later, I was working at NBS. Now, at that time, Urban TV Vision Group was the biggest media house in the country.
Yeah.
And NBS was not big, but they were not small, but they were not big. And I remember telling a friend of mine, like, oh, I'm applying for a job. I want to go and see if I can get a job at NBS. And she's like, NBS? Over my dead body. I'm like, bro, that's your story. Me, I'm going there. And now NBS is the biggest media house in the country, undoubtedly. Like, no one can touch.
You've done the Kalango for them, but I believe you. It's the biggest media house.
It is, isn't it?
So, yeah, it is.
Yeah. So at the time when it happened, I was like, why, what? And remember my goals as a child, I'm going to work in the biggest media house. I'm going to do, you remember I told you that story. So everything did work out. It just did not work out when I was 21 or 22. So you can't say I want to get married by 30. You say I want a loving, happy relationship with a woman who brings me joy and who I understand and who is respectful. You say the qualities you want. Don't say by 20, even the universe looks at you like, bro, like on my own time. You know what I mean? Yeah. But just, you have to also have faith. You have to know it's going to happen. You have to believe in yourself.
So for the longest time you've worked in the media, you must have learned manipulating people, right? Because that's what the media does. Manipulate us for the highest bidder.
Okay, let me play along. Let's see where this question is going. So let's say we manipulate you.
Where do you draw the line between telling the truth and manipulating people?
So they who said anything about manipulating? Like I'm actually,
because I mean that news is manipulating. Today, if they want to show you accidents that are happening to make you feel like it's unsafe, they can do that. They can just routinely do that. Yeah.
Well, that's unethical. That's not what we do. Who told you that that's what we do?
Just the stories. Do you know the talk shows?
We report the stories.
Forget now the stories on the news.
Yeah.
Go to radio shows. Guys telling you some unserious love stories they have made up. And the problem is now there's
entertainment is entertainment. When it's like if it's not life
and
or death.
And you call in and you give an opinion on something that has never happened.
Exactly. Is it manipulating?
I think it's manipulating.
Is it?
Emotional manipulation.
How is it manipulating? I don't understand how it's manipulating. Like, it's good entertainment. Do you think that the things you watch on TV, like wrestling and whatnot, do you think that that's real?
No.
That's staged. How is it different from that? But that's entertaining though, right?
So look at it like this. You see how porn manipulates our mind to thinking that sex is supposed to be like that?
I don't think it manipulates you.
It does. Because it's unreal.
Let me put it like this. As human beings, we like to be entertained and we like looking at nice things, right? We like, if porn looked like the way porn is, like the way sex is, would we watch that shit? No. You want things to look nice. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to see the best version of everything. Like we want to see, like even when there's housing shows, you want to see the best kinds of house. If they brought us to like a regular house in Uganda, you wouldn't be interested. But they take you on these mansions in Manhattan, that you want to watch that. You see cars, you want to drive like a luxury car. So I don't think it's manipulation. We're just showing you
does
nice
that mean
things.
That on mileage you're only going to get us the top cars? I already saw you started with the next.
So you want me to show my Kavits? You want me to be showing you
because
those
it's what the average Ugandan buys.
Okay, one day we shall also show you a wide range of cars that the average Ugandan can get. We shall also show you the wide range of cars that you shouldn't get, like that. I think my last question is more of an observation. I think you're a bit pessimistic. Do you think you're pessimistic? Okay.
Most optimistic person you will find in this world.
But I think you're a bit pessimistic.
But I'm just growing into being the pessimistic bit now.
Why? Like you shouldn't, because now like where does life go from there?
You learn to be more careful. I feel like people who are worried also put in so much work, and then people who think they can just get through everything. Yeah.
But then, like, we've seen people who put in so much work and nothing comes out of it.
Yeah.
So it's not about putting in work. Clearly, it's something else. You know, that's a thing that motivated me to get into learning about spirituality and manifestation and law of attraction and all that stuff. Because there are people who work their asses off for like 20, 50 years.
And it doesn't.
And it's not like they're not successful. They're just not as successful as you'd
You'd
think they would be, you know? So there's something else the formula is not work. It's clearly not working hard. It's something else. Whatever that thing is, we need to tap in.
So you're an optimistic person?
Yeah. To a fault even. Huh?
Over and over. Like you don't see a problem with that. You just, you know.
There are problems with it, but I think it's like worrying about something
you can't control.
That, but then also like, okay, a scenario where you've met somebody and that person is cold, right? Some people would think, this person doesn't like me. But then me, I'm like, you don't know that. Just assume the best. Assume that maybe they're just having a bad day. Like, assume it has nothing to do with you. So I always assume like the best in every scenario. I've also had to learn it, but just always assuming the best, because otherwise you'll run mad trying to figure out everything and you'll be unhappy. And I think that's what a lot of us suffer with. But yeah, have you ever had any mental health struggles?
Yeah.
What?
Depression.
Yeah?
Yeah, really, depression.
Was it diagnosed or you felt like you were depressed?
Was diagnosed.
Is it like that extreme kind or?
No. It's not mild.
Yeah. It's mild depression.
No, it's not.
It's what?
Severe
depression.
It wasn't diagnosed. I'm lying.
Oh.
Yeah, but I feel at some point I felt like I was depressed.
It's okay.
For a while. Yeah.
What did you do to get out of it?
However, though, I have gone to see a psychiatrist on addiction.
What were you addicted to?
Marijuana.
You do look like a stoner.
Why do you say that?
You have the look. My God, they look exactly. You do. Yeah, like I see it.
Shit.
No, but like, so did you stop?
No, of course not. But reduce quickly. You hate it?
No, I don't mind it.
Do you smoke marijuana?
No.
Oh, why don't you? You just drink
Absolutely.
alcohol. I hate alcohol anyway, so.
I drink alcohol, but also that one, it's on break. I just want no.
Yeah, so to me that was the thing, and
So who told you to go there if you were never going to stop anyway? Your chick?
Stopping is no. Actually, my brother, but we're just talking about the fact because to him it was severe, right? The complications were severe, but to me, we're just talking about the fact that
What were the complications?
You get what?
Psychosis.
Psychosis. Then you get mania if it's kind of in the family or stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. No, but for real, that stuff, I was watching it on social media. It's funny how social media is our doctor now. But they were saying, yeah, that does happen.
Yeah. If you do not know which spectrum you belong to.
So did it affect you like that?
No. Normally. But of course, apart from the short-term memory losses, but man, you've just said something. I look like a stoner. That's crazy. I should cut my hair and start being like these very fit people for that podcast. Being even a makeup person because.
No, but you do.
So that it was just getting a lot of short-term memory losses and trying to feel a lot of paranoia about what I'm doing, feeling like whatever I'm doing is not what I'm supposed to do, or I'm not doing it enough, and then it was getting to me. So I went to a psychiatrist. Also, my sleeping patterns had dropped, right? Like I wasn't sleeping very well, and that was a thing. Yeah.
And you've not stopped?
Completely no. Reduced greatly, yes. But I'm on the verge of stopping, It's just, from an addiction to getting away.
Like you win off. Even me, that's what I've done with
alcohol.
Yeah, like it's not that
Do you
I've
feel
stopped.
like you were addicted?
I just didn't.
You were just drinking.
I read this book, and it said like addiction doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually.
Yes.
I've been drinking since I was 18. I'm in my 30s now. It's like 15 years of boozing. I said no. Like now I take extensive breaks. I'm not quitting or haven't quit, but I take extensive breaks. I'll go like 6 months or maybe 8 months, a year. Like.
Do you have any addiction?
No.
No gym,
By
not
the grace
porn,
of
not
God.
sex.
Maybe gym now, but I wouldn't say I'm addicted. I can stop every time. Like No.
But you go to gym like every day.
Every weekday, as long as God allows, God willing. Where do I go? And then what? And then you do what? Are you going to come with me?
To the gym,
Hey, you, when you're ready, you holler at me, and then we go together.
Thank you, Sabrina.
No,
for
but I
this
go to
podcast.
elite gym,
In town.
elite gym and swim here in Tinder. Has a pool and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Let me do a plug for them. You guys should come. Yeah, so I don't think so. I had one vice, and that vice was alcohol, and it's also being tamed.
Stop.
I think like for me, alcohol not used to, or it depresses me. I feel depressed, anxiety and depression. When people ask me like, how do you know? I'm like, bro, I just think about the feeling afterwards. And how, like, and also like I was telling somebody that I drink like a Ugandan, so because other people are like, no, just drink responsibly. I'm like, yeah, but I drink, like, I'll actually drive home and everything, and there'll be like a glass of wine, and I'll just drink the glass. Next thing I know, I've drank the bottle. You know what I mean? Like, I drink like a Ugandan. So I'm like, let me limit it to a specific period of time. It's not sustainable to drink like that the whole year. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. I'm not saying like I'm an abuser of alcohol.
But yeah, it's too much.
But yeah, it's, but the truth is, I think I'm also a lightweight. Yeah, I don't drink
Hard stuff.
No, I drink hard stuff, but I don't like.
drink
It takes
the
a
local
little.
stuff?
It takes little to make me drunk. Huh?
The local stuff, like local waraji. Do you drink that waraji kind of stuff? No. You don't look like someone who does that.
But then now, like there, I would have a problem. Wouldn't I have a problem?
I mean, people are looking for it.
No, because that thing, I think it would fuck with your liver
What
and
takes?
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even the expensive stuff fucks with your liver. Nothing.
To be fair, yes, but some of them are like nicely done. That goes down smoothly. No, but seriously, I think Ugandans, or like we all need to. Yeah, someone said, like, I think it was Lamu. You know Lamu? Mm-hmm. She's like, Ugandans have a drinking problem. We do. We're living in denial. We do as a nation. Like, it's
That's
too
why
much.
people are big fans of the first son.
Because
Because he's an alcoholic and they are too. So
he's relatable.
they're relatable.
And I'm not even saying this from a high horse. Kumbe, we can adjust our mic. I'm not even saying this from a high horse. But I'm
Yes,
just
you
like,
can.
it's a bit dangerous. Like, I remember I saw the story of Mashali. You know Mashali?
No?
Mashali was a friend. We used to...
No, I know her.
Yeah.
She's my friend. She's actually been on this podcast. Yeah, I
We
know
used
her.
to hang out. We used to go out. Like, come
I
to
saw her
find out...
story, truly.
Come to find out she was an alcoholic.
But you know, it made sense, right? Because she was always in the nightlife, but she was very functioning.
But you think that Mashali is alone?
No.
We used to hang out with her.
So many.
We used to go for house parties. We used to do, you get what I'm saying? Like, that is the lifestyle that I'm talking about. Of it's too much. At some point, it is too much. Like, you can't live your life like that forever. And there's people. I read this book, and the guy was like, like, you don't become an alcoholic overnight. It takes time. Some people arrive at that place sooner than others. Those are some of our colleagues who have already become alcoholics, like, let's say Shay or whatever. But then there's people who will arrive at it at like 40, 50.
Yeah, but also they're hard drinkers and addicts.
Yeah.
Right? There are people who are so addiction for the alcohol is where you know the alcohol is going to stop you from doing what you would have otherwise done. Go to work, promotions, your marriage fails because maybe you're beating the wife, or coming back late, or again cheating because again you're drinking out there, so you're getting into weird spaces. But they're hard drinkers. They're people who drink and still function, right? The people who drink every day but go to work
Those
every
are
day.
functioning alcoholics.
So yeah,
There's
the
alcohol.
terms now they're trying to wash away the functioning bit, even in stoning. People think of themselves as functional stoners, but you've not really been affected by it.
First of all, let me tell you, people who think they're going to work having booze the whole night before, and the next night they think that no one's going to be able to tell. They'll be able to tell. Like when you're now, you'll smell like booze. Everyone will
There
smell
are
you.
people who drink that don't smell like booze.
Do you drink
No,
alcohol?
I don't.
That's why you would say something like that. If you drink a lot of alcohol, inevitably you'll smell like it. It comes out of your pores. Like
it's just
you
not
sweat
your
it.
breath.
It's not just your breath. Like you sweat it. Like now it's in the system. You get, so you smell like booze. Like no matter what gum you chew, whatever, the smell will linger on you. So they will be there thinking that no one can
I
smell.
never
I
thought about
assure
it
you that
that
some
way.
people are smelling you. Like people can tell that you've been boozing.
Oh my god.
That's embarrassing though, right? Like
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
really
just be
embarrassing.
smelling like booze all the time. Yeah, but the truth is there are people who can survive, but like for how long? Because it now no longer becomes about can you function. It's about like how much can your body take.
Yeah.
And then your body
Before
just
you
goes.
start spoiling parts by parts, you know.
Yeah.
So your body gives up. How long do you want to live? This is the last question, and we just close.
How long do I want to live? Not long, hopefully. Yeah.
If the power's in your hands, what age would you decide that I'm done with this shit?
Maybe like 50.
That's so young.
Maybe like 50 something. I don't want to say it because I feel like now the universe will want to prove a point and make me live very long. I'm not dying. I'm not trying to live that long.
You don't want 100.
Short and sweet, in and out.
Bye. Thank you, Sabrina.